Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You'll understand the 7 demons within you. You'll understand the whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway.
Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble afternoon. Continue to have a blessed and humble day, man. This y'all shorty Racheal. I want to welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life. Brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast. Yo, let's talk about it, man. What's going on around us? Random topics and thoughts is what today's, topic is about. There's so many things going on around us, right? We want to start off with the Fat Joe. I don't know how many of y'all, know about what's going on with Fat Joe, right? And that's going to be one of the first topics that we do start off, man. Before we do get started into the any topic today, any video that I'm sure he's going to review and react to, man. How was y'all day today? It was a hot ass day, man. I had to go outside and do my duty as a block captain, man. It was a little shout out there, but then we got it together, right? But other than that, it was nice. The shorty was out there selling merchandise, man. How was it in y'all city? What was y'all up to? Did y'all go outside? Did y'all be productive? Man, I did good. I did a couple sales. I'm gonna go back out there again, like around 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna do this live, right? We're gonna be talking about Fat Joe and some current news from Philly and out of Philly, right? Shit. We got the beautiful Miss Chicago in the building. Yo, another thing I noticed, man, I need to go back to. I'm getting chunky. Yo, I looked at my arms and I was like, whoo, this is what it looks like to be spoiled. This is what a real queen looked like, huh? She gains little turkey arms. I'm on this bitch like, oh. I was looking at myself I'm like, oh, no, Ray. It's time for you to start squatting. You've been a year locked in the house and some change. You ain't been doing shit. You got to squat. You got to do some sit-ups. Fuck this. When I saw how I looked on that camera, Lord have mercy. Fuck my big ass forehead. I gotta work this little muffin. I'm like, yo, I got a muffin. I gotta work all of this out. Shit. We got Mouthpiece in the building, yo. Shout out to Mouthpiece, y'all, man. Big shout out to Mouthpiece, yo. Blessings, Mouthpiece. We got YouTube's David Banner in the building, y'all. So blessings. Make sure y'all go check him out. He's going live today. So I know I'm making sure that I catch him, Word, and whoever is going live tonight, man. I'm doing my live now so that I can go out there, do what I gotta do, right? And I'm gonna catch them later on tonight. It seems like Mouthpiece got a great ass topic tonight. So make sure y'all go check him out. Right? You will not be disappointed, yo. Shout out to Miss Chicago, Young Ria's in the building. That was young. And we also had the Passer Pass. I'm not sure if the Passer Pass is in the building, man. Big shout out to the Passer, yo. I love me some Passer, yo. Double Speak Telecast, yo. Make sure y'all go check out Double Speak Telecast, yo. You will not be disappointed, man. I'm telling you, man. I love all the personalities of Double Speak Telecast, yo. Like, he is funny. He can sit here and give you motivational inspiration. Like, man, you can sit here and sit here and watch him give a good roast, man. Like, it's so many personalities to Double Speak Telecast, man. I'm telling you, you gotta love you some Passer, baby. So if you haven't checked out the Passer, make sure y'all go check him out, man. Because he's not just funny, man. He's also, man. Look, listen. He gives you the word, right? He'll read you some passages. He'll motivate you in the mornings, right? And then he also got the trap house, man, where the women go wild and the men seem to, catch amnesia. I'm not sure if the pass is in the building, but I would love for him to drop, the link to both his channels, man. Because listen, some people be slow. They want you to break it down like if I'm the word and I'm not that, all right? I'm a shorty that comes from the hood, right? From North Philly. I'm out here. Listen, I can get professional. I can get, we can get hood with it. But at the end of the day, yo, listen, we're going to get this John started. I'm going to say it like that. Blur the lines of consent in professional settings, right? So we got Fat Joe being sued for $20 million, right? Because according to, the news report, right? Bloggers and much more. Fat Joe is being sued, right, for having inappropriate relationships with minors. All right. According, I think I might play Tyron Motive's live, right, before we get to the current news from Philly and all that, because I think he's got a little more detail into it. So I might play Tyrone's live, all right, because he went into it. I think it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday morning, he went in, all right? So shout out to Tyron. If y'all haven't checked out Tyron, y'all will see who that is in a little bit. I'm not sure if any moms know who Tyron is, but if y'all can, leave the link down below for Tyron Motif, right? If y'all into celebrity gossip and stuff like that, man, Tyron Motif, Mouthpiece, who else? There's a few other people, but right off the grip, right off the noggin, y'all can go check out Tyron Motif and Mouthpiece.
Rapper Fat Joe has been hit with an explosive $20 million lawsuit for allegedly coercing his ex-hype man into thousands of sexual acts. In a graphic 157-page lawsuit, Terrence T.A. Dixon accuses Fat Joe, whose legal name is Joseph Cartagena, of more than a decade of abuse. The details so disturbing that there's a big trigger warning in the red on the first page of that filing. Dixon alleges that in the lawsuit, Cartagena forced him to, quote, humiliating situations, including sex acts, performed under duress and surveillance. Dixon claims he personally witnessed Cartagena engage in sexual relations with girls as young as 15, one of whom Cartagena was allegedly in love with and contemplated leaving his wife for. An attorney for Cartagena.
Yo, that shit is crazy, right? Like a grown ass man in his how old is Fat Joe? Like in his 50s, but this was a while back, right? Even though a grown ass man, right, talking about contemplating about leaving his wife to get with a 16-year-old, boy, you got me chopped. Like, dude, you got groomer pedophilia all over you. Mama, go check with that.
Hannah says the lawsuit is a blatant act of retaliation. NBC's Stephen Romo is on the story for us. And Stephen, Cartagena initially sued Dixon, and now Dixon is suing Cartagena. Both sides are trading allegations here.
Yeah, a lot of allegations here, but the lawsuit filed today has a lot more graphic content, if you will, Tom. Cartagena actually sued Dixon back in April on allegations that as a former employee, he was trying to extort him for money. Well, Dixon's suit that was filed today is a lot more than just a typical employment dispute. The complaint does accuse Cartagena of underpaying him, but it goes on with many more allegations, claiming Cartagena would bring women to hotel rooms and make Dixon have sex with them in front of him and others.
Wow.
It also alleges that Cartagena would fly underage girls into the U.S. from Europe and that he paid for plastic surgery for one of them, and claimed that the minors were frequently cut off financially and discarded when they became non-compliant. Now, Cartagena's attorney claiming that those claims in this lawsuit are complete fabrications and lies, and saying, quote, the lawsuit filed by Tyrone Blackburn and Terrence Dixon is a blatant act of retaliation, a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the civil suit we filed first. Of course, referencing that lawsuit originally filed back in April, Tom.
Damn.
So we have another famous rapper being hit with a RICO charge, and we talked about
Another famous rapper, yes. Like, this shit is crazy. They got Diddy. They got Joe. Listen, Big Pun is rolling in circles in his grave. Like, I'm telling you right now, man. Big Pun is bumping his head on that tombstone. I'm not trying to be funny, man, but listen, it's coming out how it's coming out. It's the facts, though, like, on some real shit. Like, all this is, like, why are people coming out so many years later, though, is my question, right? So, here's something that I haven't heard nobody say yet, right? And I say the same thing with all the other people that's being charged with the same thing, right? These people that have witnessed these things, what, they gonna get out of this scot-free? They don't pay no consequences because they still kept this. And I thought that by law, they were considered an accomplice. But now, because they want to get it out their chest, what, they get out of it scot-free? They knew this shit for so long. What's crazy is we should have connected the dots back in December when Pat Poose aired out Remy. And shout out to Remy. I mean, listen, I get what she did was fucked up, right? I still like her music. Listen, you can't knock me down for liking her music. I like her music. What the fuck? But what she did as a woman, I feel as though it's fucked up. Right? But listen, at the end of the day, shout out to Clarissa Shields. You want to know why? Because Remy's trash and ended up being somebody else's gold. For real, for real. So now Papoose out there with Clarissa Shields and he upgraded. So at the end of the day, listen, man, like I tell people, karma can go both ways, yo. That shit goes both ways. Listen, people could find solace in that bitch, or they could sit here and be haunted on some real shit by that bitch. And that bitch don't ask you how you want it.
About Sean Diddy Combs' trial earlier in the newscast, he's also, of course, being accused of building a criminal empire here. And several of the people connected to this lawsuit have ties to other big cases, including Diddy's.
Yeah, a lot of the players involved have connections to these cases. Joe Tacopina representing Joe Cartagena, of course, that's Fat Joe. He's also represented a lot of other big clients, including President Donald Trump, A$AP Rocky, and he actually turned down representing Sean Diddy Combs himself. And then we have Tyrone Blackburn there on the right, who is right now representing Dixon, but he is also representing music producer and rapper Lil Rodney in a separate case that is against Diddy. The lawsuit filed by
that lawyer right now is making money off of these celebrities, yo. That lawyer getting rich off the backs of these celebrities. Shit. Don't that show you how we free slaves? When we hit the word panel, I'm going to ask him if he could break down what the word, the definition of a free slave is. I mean, y'all should know what it is, but it's hard for me to break it down. You see where I'm coming from? Because no matter how I break it down, people still got to get shit broken down like they ain't kindergarten, right?
By Dixon is a civil RICO case, unlike Diddy's, which, of course, is a criminal RICO case. But there is a lot of crossover in these allegations here, Tom.
It's kind of head spinning, actually, Stephen. Thanks very much.
We thank you for watching. And
yo. So it's like every time we turn around, a celebrity getting hit. What do y'all think, right? How do y'all feel about the Fat Joe situation? Do y'all believe the allegations, right? And there's a reason why we're going to go into Tyrone's video after this video, right? Because I think Tyrone, I'm not sure if I think somebody else does go into it, but then the way they break it down, I just don't want people to get bored, right? But the way Tyrone breaks it down is a little better. But so before we get into the video, right, should civil courts be more proactive in investigating abuse allegations tied to celebrity figures? And how can the justice system ensure fair trials when both parties accuse each other of slander or extortions? What role should record labels and management teams play in preventing or reporting abuse? Does the threat of retaliation discourage victims from coming forward in high-profile cases? And it seems like it does, for real, for real. Like, this shit is wild, man. Hold on one second. I had the video, and I don't know why my tabs closed up like that. They say Fat Joe is being accused of ordering a hit on 50 Cent and assault on other rappers. Oh, shit. Fat Joe is also being accused of ordering a hit on 50 Cent and more rappers? Get the fuck out of here. Yo, that's why they hitting this man with a RICO. There's a lot being said. Damn, Fat Joe. So is it just the minors that you're being accused of, or what? Where's Tyrone's video? I know I seen Tyrone because I was on his live for a little bit then. Let me see. The company man was on 20 hours.
I'm at the last resort. I've lost.
His video's a little shorter.
Explosive lawsuit filed against Fat Joe. Fat Joe. Now, this hit the wire yesterday. Thursday. Dixon is alleging that his former boss, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Cartagena, engaged in coercive labor exploitation, financial fraud, manipulation, violent intimidation, and psychological coercion. Dixon adds that the hip-hop star behind such chart toppers as What's Love got rich and famous.
Are you reading an article?
while he and his associates deliberately suppressed, silenced, and erased Dixon's substantial creative, artistic, and commercial contribution.
Dude, I could read the article too. I got it right there, but I want more information.
Rapper Fat Joe has been.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second, guys, because I want to get into, you know, he's reading an article. I thought he was reading paperwork. No, I could do the same thing. I could read an article. Sorry, not to dish you, company man, but I could read an article too. Let me see. Let's come over here. Now, I know Tyrone. Don't get mad at the shorty, all right? Wait, it's my history. Come over here. Where's Tyrone's live? Here we go.
You want to unsolicited your birthday in my
courtroom praise for federal prosecutors.
All right.
So who?
Oh shit, we got the OG in the building, Straight Godzilla 22, yo. Shout out to Straight Godzilla. All right, hold on. Because I didn't watch Tyrone's whole live. So I gotta see, is this one about Fat Joe, or is they talking about goddamn Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Power can be used to trap people, weaponized even.
Let's see, hold on. Let's hear what Tyrone got. Hold on.
Life together, boy.
Nasty word from someone who says
no damn sense. Hey, good morning, Miss Lady.
Telling me, oh, you're gonna give me 40K. All right, 40K to just sit down. Okay. So what happens when all your money is gone? Then what?
What is this? Hold on.
We're gonna pawn my chains next?
That's for Sean? Yeah, hearing Sean. Hold on 1 second. So he started
I want to get into this Rock Nation story.
Okay, I was gonna say, wait, Tyrone. I thought this was the Fat Joe lawsuit. I'm like, I swear I just heard Krishan in the background. Not Krishan.
To this Rock Nation story. Yeah, I want to get into this Rock Nation story right quick. Facts. Please hit the like button, ladies.
Such story. If you've been following the channel, you know I've spent years covering how systems of power can be used to trap people, weaponized even, to trap people under the guise of.
All right, so just pay attention to the video. I'm gonna go get something to drink. I mean, listen, Tyrone. Listen, I know you're not gonna strike me, but I just gotta say it. Don't strike me, shorty. All right, don't copyright me. All right. I'm just starting off.
Help and protection. Now, this tactic often requires the victim's parents or other family members to be directly involved. We saw this with Brittany. We saw it with Bam.
Right.
And today, we're seeing it again. First, from someone who says her own mother, who happens to be the CEO of Rock Nation, allegedly used money, power, influence, connections, and even the legal system, lawyers, law enforcement, to try and take over her adult daughter's life. We're talking allegations of illegal surveillance, forced psychiatric holds, and a push for a conservatorship / guardianship, because they're the same thing, over a fully grown, fully competent woman with no mental health history. This is a story about family, about power, and about how systems designed to supposedly help people can sometimes be turned into weapons. Just like Brittany and Bam, DeMaury says it wasn't because she was a danger to herself, but it was because she wouldn't fall in line. This is a personal story, but it's not just a personal story. It's also about how power can be abused when it's absolutely unchecked. DeMaury.
And that's crazy, right? And that's why it's hard for me to believe, right? But you know that when these rumors surface about these celebrities, you know, it's hard for me to believe that the majority of these rumors are not true. How can you show me? How can you prove to me by looking on the other side of the screen, just like me, that this person is not innocent or this person is innocent? I mean, that this person isn't, man, guilty, right? Or is guilty. Let's put it like that. Like, how can you prove it unless you got the evidence? You see where I'm coming from? Like, it's hard. It's hard. That's why I listen. Like I tell people, man, I always say the world is a stage. Everything we see is kind of like an illusion. You have to read in between the lines. You see, pay attention to the blurs within everything.
He says her own mother used her power and the law to have her falsely and illegally locked up. She spied on her in her own bedroom, and she was nearly placed in a guardianship. Now, before we get into it, nothing in this video is legal advice. These are all allegations made by Demore. Based on her firsthand experiences, I'm going to allow her the space to say these things, but I certainly wasn't there. I don't know. And everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law or until proven liable in a civil court. Okay?
That's true. And what's crazy is, right, a lot of people say if you want to know where there's a predator, just look at the list, right? Unfortunately, what a lot of y'all don't seem to know is that, yes, some of these predators are on the list. What y'all don't seem to know is some of these predators that are on the list are innocent, right? And what's crazy is the real predators are out there haven't really been caught. And a lot of these predators that are on the list, yes, they are predators. You got to be careful. You got to be cautious. Know your surroundings. Know the people within your neighborhood, right? Because there are predators amongst us, not just within our communities, right? But within our, our chats, within our social media panels, outlets. You see where I'm coming from? Like, believe it or not, like shit, I so happen to have, I don't want to use the word experience because some people are stupid. I'm sorry to say it like that. But I have to say it. Like on some real shit, I've experienced some predators within amongst our chats. One of them that I crossed paths with, right, that pretended not to be a predator, right? But you get this feeling. I mean, I don't know. I don't think everybody gets that feeling, right? And I try to keep my distance from this person until boom, everything exploded. I was like, I knew it. And I try to warn people, but we're not going to get into that. But it's like this little feeling that you get. And it's not because of my past, because there's people out here without a past to get that same little feeling. I don't know what it is that tells you, yo, something really bad about this person. You see where I'm coming from? Like, what the bad part is, you can't tell, but it overpowers the good. So we have to really be cautious, right? And what's crazy is, right, look how it's surfacing. Even though people tried to warn people back in the days about these celebrities, look at the time that all this is surfacing. What's crazy is that a lot of old heads from back in the days warned us about this shit too. And what's like I tell people, man, do they seem so crazy now? Do the conspiracy theories that these people used to talk about back in the days seem so conspiracy now? Like, is it such of a conspiracy theory still? Do they still seem crazy and whacked up like people used to call them? But this is a story right here that Tyrone has, right? Of how money and power, right, can sit here and give somebody easy access to somebody and keep them silenced.
Now, most of the allegations and most of the things that Demore is going to say here have been memorialized in a federal complaint, which we will insert some clips of as we move along. Just to
big shout out to Miss Brooklyn, Lady Brooklyn Elio. She's in the building. Big shout out to her. She says, yes, and we thought they were old and nuts. Now we're seeing what they know, what they saw. Facts. Like, they was connecting the dots before we were understanding what them dots were. On some real shit.
Provide the receipts. Don't come for me. Okay. With all that said, let's get into it.
You apply to this amazing job. It's going down over there at Rock Nation. What had happened, Jay-Z? What had happened over there, buddy?
Thanks for coming. It was really good getting to know you before we came on today. And also, I'm just so sorry to hear about all the stuff that you've been going through. It doesn't particularly surprise me or shock me because I've seen it, but Wow. I usually am not actually getting to talk directly to people who have been through this. So thank you so much for taking your time. I'm sure you have other stuff to be doing tonight to educate people about this and to kind of get it out there, what you've been through. So thank you so much, Demore, for coming by.
Thank you for the platform. I appreciate your research and I appreciate you caring enough to share it on your platform.
Any time. So I just have literally like a list of questions. I was reading through that lawsuit. There will be a separate video of me kind of going through the complaint, and I understand you've now filed a
Oh, so that's the shorty that's filing the lawsuit. I thought it was somebody that was going through a similar experience. No, this is the actual shorty that filed the lawsuit. But I thought it was his hype man. See, man, listen, I'm glad I'm paying attention to this now, right? Because he did have, a little more info. I like the videos he put out there. Not a lot of people is hitting on this Fat Joe topic. They still stuck on a Diddy.
second complaint as an amendment to your first one. So I haven't even had a chance to.
So this is the daughter of Desiree Perez, one of Jay-Z business partners. Desiree Perez, she's a CEO at Rock Nation.
I knew that name
Quite
sounded
sure
familiar.
y'all know who.
Yes, the name sounded so. I'm like, wait, oh shit, damn, it's been a long time. Desi Perez. See, because I was younger back then, I didn't pay attention to none of that shit. But now I'm older. Damn, this shit is taking me back down memory lane.
Desiree Perez. Let me see if I could pull her up. Let's see. This is Desiree Perez right quick before we go any further.
Yep.
Just so y'all have a backstory. She is the CEO at Rock Nation. This is Jay-Z business partner. Desiree Perez, Chief Executive Officer, co-founder and Chief Executive Officer of Rock Nation.
Shout out to Tyron Motif, yo, man, for bringing this out here.
She became the CEO back in 2009. And she been telling for a long goddamn time. Desiree Perez been telling for a long time.
It's crazy because when she became CEO, I was 21 years old.
And this is why Jay-Z gets so much backlash from people in New York. Because so many of us know who this goddamn woman is.
Yep.
Nasty work.
If she did, shout out to Tyrone.
Jay-Z may be next.
So they're saying Jay-Z might be next.
This is Desiree Perez. Yeah.
Damn, they've been saying Jay-Z might be next for a while. They hit R. Kelly. They hit Diddy. They just smacked Fat Joe with a damn Rico. And what's crazy is, right, Desi wasn't the only one warning us for years about Fat Joe and them, right? You also got Cuban Link. Let's not forget about Cuban Link. All right, guys. Like, what in the world ever happened to Cuban Link? Like, they could rap and they could sing. Listen, yesterday I was asking, I was like, who do you think is better, Cuban Link or Fat Joe? Everybody, Fat Joe. I'm like, y'all know who Cuban Link is? Like, have y'all heard his lyrics? I'm sitting here like, what? I'm like, I get it. To each his own, though. To each his own. I ain't nobody to judge. But in my head, I was like, to me, it's Cuban Link. Like, what's up with y'all? Maybe because of my era. Nah, but I can't even blame it on my era because a lot of people from my era is stuck on Fat Joe for some reason and forgot about Cuban Link. And that's because what the fuck happened to Cuban Link?
Jay-Z snitching. Damn, they got Jay-Z name. And oh, God damn, Jay. What is Desiree Perez known for? God damn. 6ix9ine exposed Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody is gonna be like, yo, nobody's gonna expose this. You're with a rat every day. You're with a rat every day. You're with a rat. Your prison reform, your bail reform is with a rat. Oh no, she wasn't street. She was selling kilos of cocaine.
Tekashi 6ix9ine. I mean, he what he's saying is seeming to be true, but because of him being such a clout chaser and doing the stupid shit that he was doing, right? I don't rock with the bull. And then like people don't even realize just because he's not over here in the USA, right, doesn't mean that he stopped doing the dumb shit that he was doing. He's just doing it over there in PR, Santo Domingo and shit like that. He's just at the Caribbean over there acting a fool. That's it. Man, like when he admitted, people didn't realize this man admitted to, you know, like all the money I was showing, the majority of it was fake, this and that. I was like, oh, all this was for clout. And people still like, okay, I get it. He's seen some shit, right? It's exposed some shit. And that's the reason why they call him Daniel Hernandez. I mean, that's his real name, but it's just the way people see it. Like, if y'all really pay attention to certain people that be roasting him, Daniel Hernandez. But I can't sit here. I gotta put my pride to the side and my ego. The bull was spitting some facts. But was this the only time he was telling the truth? I mean, you can't tell because of how he used to be such a fucking troll. And that's what they consider themselves, right? That's why I don't understand why people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s right now call themselves trolls. Like, I looked at him when he first came out, and I was in my mid-20s. Like, dude, like, what the fuck? A troll? Like, now you under a fucking bridge trying to collect some pay for people to come through? The fuck?
You don't want nobody
ugly ass troll.
It's right here. Let me show you. Desiree Perez and Meek Mill. Desiree and Perez and Meek Mill walking out the courtroom. Desiree Perez and Jay-Z, right? Desiree Perez struck a deal with the feds, agreeing to wear a hidden wire to record her meetings with the major cocaine trafficker.
Damn.
Her undercover informant work won her courtroom praise for federal prosecutors.
Okay, Dazzy.
So who we pick and choose who we call?
6ix9ine is responding to me.
Oh, so 6ix9ine. Tyrone's about to tell us, but to me, right? Damn, 6ix9ine, what you a little mad, you hating on some real shit that they calling you a rat in the snitch and they're not calling Desi Perez? Desi wasn't out here in the streets talking about I'm a rat, I'm a snitch, and I'm gonna get away with it on some stupid shit, fool. See, there's a lot of reasons why I don't like you. And I know you're not gonna see this video, but I gotta get that shit out my chest. It's the stupid shit that comes out your fucking mouth sometimes. Like if the youth not watching you, you fucking idiot. Money doesn't fucking cover everything. Money doesn't pay for everything. Well, maybe in your world. But over here, that shit can still get your fucking snot box rocked out your fucking face. On some real shit. Welcome to Philly, baby. And I hear the New York, the Bronx, Queens, and all these places is worse than Philly. So, I mean, I'm not even understanding, like, boy, it's like you're making snitching and ratting a cool thing. That's the thing for me. And people not understanding where I'm coming from. I'm speaking as a mature, grown-ass woman. As a mother of kids, the shit this man does for clout is stupid. He may be speaking the facts about these celebrities, but that doesn't change the fact that I don't like the way this man carries himself. Snitch, rat, whatever the fuck you want to call him, Daniel Hernandez, to me, is still a little kid. He's just, like a little kid. He's just telling everything as he sees it, like a little kid. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing that what he's saying, exposing these celebrities. What I'm saying is that this motherfucker need to mature. That's it. Point blank, period.
Meek Mill. This is when Meek Mill, when 6ix9ine was going back and forth. 6ix9ine was calling Meek Mill. No, Meek Mill was calling 6ix9ine a rat. 6ix9ine, like, nigga, you doing business with a rat. You over there with the biggest rats of them all.
Dude. But Meek Mills can't stop, man. Meek Mills, you make a lot of people look bad in Philly. Fuck out of here, Meek. Like you sat here, and I don't know if it's true, but people like you should have some sympathy for Meek Mills. He's from your city. He's a grown ass fucking man. If it did happen to Justin Bieber, I feel sympathy for Justin Bieber, right? If it happened to I forgot who was everybody else that it happened to, right? I have sympathy for them, the minors. But for Meek Mill's a grown-ass man that decided to get on all fours like he's a dog and somebody's bitch? Fuck no. Grown-ass man, they had the decision to say, no, punch the shit out of somebody in their face and walk away. Oh, but he was just in his early 20s. Did y'all not just hear what the fuck I said?
Desiree Perez and Jay-Z and them took down a whole Mexican cartel.
Damn. She did?
We pick and choose who we want to call you rolling with rats now, but you
down the rats
what
of
did
them
Tyrone
all.
say? Tyrone be funny
Desiree
as shit.
Perez.
Listen, y'all gotta really listen to Tyrone's joke show. Tyrone be so fucking funny.
You over there with the biggest rats of them all. Desiree Perez and Jay-Z and them took down the whole Mexican cartel.
We pick and choose who we want to call you rolling with rats now, but you know what? Nobody knows. Nobody.
Nasty work.
Check in on that one. But I was reading through it, and it just reads like you really can't even write something like that. You know, you can't even make it up. It's like, how do these people, got to give them one thing, they creative, you know. They could come up with some stuff. They can come up with some things.
Yeah.
So from that, I had a few questions, and I want to kind of give you the floor and let you talk about whatever you think is important, needs to be talked about, because this is something I've covered, but I've never experienced it.
So we're about to, who is this? Demery Magley. Okay, so the story is happening to this shorty, and I guess this is the shorty that filed the lawsuit. Oh shit, how you doing? How you feeling? How you living? Shout out to BDBGP in the building. If y'all into music, if y'all into beats, man, he is the man to go to. Yo, he be having little tournaments and stuff like that, man. Make sure y'all go check him out. If you're into beats, if you're into music, BDBGP is the man to go.
And I've never been through it. Seems like something it's not anybody wants to go through. So I guess let's start here. From your perspective, what was the first, or like maybe one of the first earliest moments where you realized that your mom, your own mother, was using her influence and her power to try to truly control your life?
So I would say the first incident that made me realize that was when my then boyfriend, who's now my husband, was arrested for the very first time on December 30th, 2023.
Why they arrest her boyfriend, now husband? That's crazy. Let's continue. My bad. I was just a little curious.
Because later, through discovery and hiring an investigative team, I found out that they didn't have any probable cause to make an arrest, but they went ahead and did it based off of power, influence, phone calls, emails, you name it, to the state attorney's office in Florida. So that's when it really struck me. You know, as a normal person living a very low-key life out of the media, and having a mother as being the CEO of Rock Nation, a huge corporation, right? Dealing with a lot of high-profile people.
Mother of Rock Nation.
I've always come across people like talking bad or, you know, putting them in a bad light. But of course, as a naive, not really woke daughter of a high-profile individual, it all just seems like conspiracy theories, right? When I would see reports or YouTubers talk about some of the things that, you know, they thought that was going on and stuff like that. And it wasn't really until it happened to me that.
So Desiree Perez, her mother, which is the CEO of Rock Nation and Jay-Z business partner, is highly upset at her daughter for being involved with a black man. She tried to get this black man unalived. she put this black man in
Oh,
prison
wow.
multiple times.
That is fucked up. And you know what's crazy? I know the feeling. I know how it feels to have, to be related to a Hispanic family, right? That sit here and bash a black man down. I've been in that situation. DHS called on me, cops, everything called. I had to sit here and show and prove that I'm doing what I got to do as a mother, that, my baby father is not who they think he is. I'm saying, here, listen, man, what a grandmother would do, right? That says that she loves her grandkids and shit like that shit. My baby daddy gotta be rolling in fucking circles in his fucking gravestone. For real, because at the end of the day, boy, that shit is fucked up. Her own mother did that to her. Like, I can really relate. Like, I don't understand why. Why? I don't get it. Like, that's something I do not understand amongst Hispanic families, yo. For real. And I hate it. And it happens a lot. Like, what the fuck? Like, you can't tell the heart who to love. This man is treating me good. This is the man I'm going to treat like a king. At the end of the day, you can't tell my heart who the fuck to be with. That shit pisses off because he's black. Bitch, get the fuck out my face. See, I don't like that shit, man. Puerto Rican females, Dominican females, man, they could all take the black dick, but they sure as hell can't fucking sit here and fucking, how can I say it? Show it to the world. Y'all could take that dick on the low. That's some weird, fucked up, screwed up shit. But y'all want to sit here and make all black men look like they the fucking worst, yo. That shit pisses me off. Like, the fuck, it be our own fucking kind, yo. I'm sorry. That's something that I've been holding on for a minute. I let it out sometimes, but it's something that I constantly see. And it's something that I actually lived through. I went through that shit. Not with my mama, but with my kid's father's mother. When that man passed away and I decided to redo my life again, right? She was so fucking racist to the point where you almost got my kids taken from me. If it wasn't because they came in here, they seen how, I keep my kids, and I wasn't living in this house at the time. This is a house that they got inherited. I got to fix this joint up. And little by little, I'm doing it. Kitchen getting remodeled, bathroom getting remodeled. There's 2 bathrooms in this bitch. So like I could really understand her. And it's fucked up when families do that, yo. And it be your own. It be your own blood. It be your own kind. It be your own people. And that's the fucked up part about it. I'm tired of that shit. Like, Puerto Ricans and Dominicans need to understand that the majority of us, 60% of our fucking DNA, right, is fucking African DNA. So wake the fuck up and stop being so fucking racist. That shit, yo, you know what? Let's continue. Because that's really showing y'all how I really feel about shit like this, yo. Like, that shit takes me to a whole nother level. Let's continue, man. Because I'll get out of character on some real shit and disrespect the shit out of some of them. Like, that's some disrespectful shit. Like, we're in fucking 2025 when we ain't get over this shit yet.
She got cameras and daggone microphones hitting mics around this woman's house. She's secretly recording her and her husband in their bedroom for years. Her daughter and husband didn't know they had hidden cameras in their bedroom for years. Their mother is watching them have sex, sleep, and live life for years.
That is fucking crazy. What in the world be running through some of these females? You was watching your daughter have sex with her fucking husband? Excuse my French, but yo, what in the world is going on?
Before they discovered it. Nasty work. This is disgusting. How you going to bed every night for years and somebody is watching you and you don't even realize it? For years? Oh my God.
Thank you.
And until I saw my husband in handcuffs in front of our 3 nephews, ages 2, 6, 8, and 10, who had to witness their uncle getting arrested at a farm, a children's farm.
I did see that. That was awful.
That situation, that traumatic situation really, really changes your life. And that's when I saw, okay, she has power. She really does have power.
I got chills on the back of my head because I did see that, and it was like such an evil perversion of such a sweet and nice, wholesome little, seemingly like nice time y'all are having out there at the petting zoo or whatever. I'm like, wow, that she sent them over there to that place knowing. Oh,
That shit is
man.
crazy.
They did a fake 911 call saying I was being abducted. That's why police responded so quickly.
Wow.
And that's
I loved it. You were going, do you have a warrant?
Yeah.
Do you have a warrant for his arrest?
Yeah.
I was like, yes, ask for that warrant. Oh my God.
No, and and that's clipped. If you see the full body cam, which I'm sure that's going to be released. I have to see, but I mean, the kids are crying. I'm crying at the end. It's very bad, and it takes an evil person. You could have picked any day to fake a 911 abduction call. You could have picked any day. You picked that day intentionally, knowing that we were with the children. There was no need to do that to kids. Everybody knows, right? In all types of codes of life, professional capacity, and in informal capacity, kids are untouchable. Don't hurt kids.
And that's off limits, it's supposed to be.
It is. It's supposed to be off limits. But let me tell y'all something, right? For some reason, oh shit, we got the OG Gary Busted Down Brown in the building, guys. Make sure y'all go check him out. Great conversations and great topics, y'all. But for some reason, right? People don't understand that part. People don't understand. That's why I keep saying, does somebody that has nothing to lose really have nothing to lose? You see where I'm coming from? I get it. When you're gone, right? But do you really have nothing to lose, right? When you're here fucking with somebody that has kids, knowing they would give their last breath just to protect their family. Sometimes I wonder, like, listen, the person that has everything to lose, right, could come out here and react like a person that has nothing to lose because they're willing to give their last breath just to defend what they're willing to give, like they're willing to give up everything, no matter the circumstances, no matter if it's ending up in a coffin. You see where I'm coming from? So it's like, it gets you to think, like, which one should you fear more? The person that has nothing to lose or the one that has everything to lose? Sit down, it's okay. Like, I'm serious on that shit. Because it seems like somebody that has everything to lose will go all out. Like, don't fuck with somebody that has kids, yo. I'm telling you, because they will go all out just to protect and save their family. For real.
Yeah. So that was, again, that's where it started, and that's where I really saw the power, and it was just so wrong and disgusting.
Interstate moves are
Wow.
You can see this in customer review.
Wow. Not Mama Love.
That's crazy.
Not the woman that carried you for 9 months. God damn.
Oh, man. So what's something that you wish people understood more or at all about how easy it is to weaponize these well-meaning laws? I mean, a lot of people think if they're being used for the right reasons, okay, fine. But we learned in your lawsuit, and we saw you put the receipts right there, the exhibits right there. You did a hair follicle test at the insistence of you, and good shout out to you advocating for yourself, saying, no, I need to take this test because I'm telling you every single line. It wasn't not one, like, not didn't even say yes for Tylenol. Wasn't even an NSAID in that hair follicle, y'all. And here we are, locked up, can't get out. What is something you wish people understood more about how easy it was for you to just be at the farm and then your husband's getting arrested, one thing leads to another, this thing's used, and then now you're incarcerated medically?
So that's a very good question, right? It's
incarcerated medically. What does that mean? What does it mean to be incarcerated medically? Okay, so this is not explaining it. All right, let me listen to her. Hold on 1 second. She just lost me there. Anybody in the chat know what she mean by that?
It's actually really scary because, first of all, I don't eat meat. I don't drink soda. I live a very, I would say, holistic life. I eat very healthy. I've never in my life done drugs, and that's intentionally. I come from a background where both of my parents were drug traffickers. That caused them to not be in my childhood as much as I wanted them to be. I was raised by a phenomenal grandfather who I love to death, who I owe my whole entire childhood to, really. But, you know, being a kid and going through the trauma of not having your mom at every recital, or, you know, being there to tuck you in at night, or a dad or whatnot. Once I was older,
Grandpa hold her down. Grandpa held her down. Shout out to the fathers and grandfathers out there in the world holding down these goddamn kids. Shout out to.
That's some real shit, but there's not many left. Yeah, there's not many left, Tyron. Like shit, it's not so many grandfathers out here that are real grandfathers, yo.
The fathers and grandfathers of the world. Shout out to the fathers and grandfathers popping up in crunch time. You heard? God damn.
God damn.
To understand why they weren't around,
God
because they were selling drugs. I mean, it wasn't just they were selling drugs. I mean, they were head of cartels, and my mom was a federal informant, and this is all public information, so that's why I'm sharing this. And it's not to throw anybody under the bus or anything like that. This is just what I experienced, right? So that was traumatic for me as a child. And so when I found out, you know, oh, mom and dad weren't around because.
Do we have a troll? Do we have a troll here?
Shit. Tyron getting hit by a troll.
Talking about his birthday in 5. I hope your ass. What you looking for? A birthday?
Sorry, Tyron. Sorry. I had to skip that. I'm dead. I can't.
First time in my chat, you don't like, but you wanna unsolicited your zesty and messy ass gift. What you want me to go and buy?
Yeah,
in my birthday, in my birthday around me, but some pretty faces and stay the fuck away. You is in my birthday and back. How about birthday and bonding?
We're gonna touch a drug.
We don't give a fuck.
I made it a point to be like, I am never gonna touch a drug, because when I have kids, I don't want X, Y, and Z to be the reason that I'm away from them. And why would I participate in ingesting things that potentially will hurt me and will potentially change the outcome of my life, right? That's how I really feel about. And it's not to throw anybody in the bus who has an illness and uses drugs as a coping mechanism. But I understand that that's a mental illness. I understand people use it sometimes to numb.
Why are you not in?
Definitely a mental illness, baby girl.
Yep.
Yes. And your mama is bat-ish crazy.
Personally, I've never, and I'm lucky, I've never been in a dark space where I felt that I needed to resort to drugs. And I think it's just because I really started hating, because you have to understand as a little girl, like, well, why can't mom be here? Why can't dad be here? Oh, it's because they were involved in this. So my enemy, really, it was crazy. In my head as a child, I framed drugs as the enemy, but really they should have known better, right? As adults and parents, like, you have a child at home, like, why are you selling drugs? Like, but I was looking for something to blame. And so psychologically, I was blaming drugs. And so it was so drastic that I've never, and any friend that you ask, anybody that you call in, they can subpoena whoever. I've never drunk alcohol in my life. That's how drastic it is. Like, I can't even resist the smell of alcohol. It's just like a trigger. Like, I just go back to my childhood and I just associate alcohol and drugs to my parents. And I see it as like the public enemies, right? And so I've always been in my friend group as the mom, like the designated driver, because I've never done any type of drugs. So imagine.
It's crazy because a lot of kids are like that, right? And they say the kids like that don't exist, but there's a lot of kids out here. Well, I'm not a kid no more, but when I was a kid too, and I still feel like that. I want to be the complete opposite of what my parents was. I don't want to be nothing like them. So I've decided to, break the chains of society and be who I am truly meant to be. I don't care if I end up looking, if I look like the ugly duckling, if I'm the one that, out of the whole family stands out like a sore thumb. I don't give a fuck.
And then I went to school for sociology, a social work. I went to Boston University. Like, I worked with survivors of torture, human trafficking, domestic violence. I worked with unaccompanied minors. Like, I have a bulk of experience. I've seen the devastations of what drugs can do to people.
Yep.
And so for me to end up in a hospital, which I've never also had a history of wanting to kill myself. That's very important, because the Baker Act is not just for drugs, but it's also for severe mental illnesses and if you're a harm to yourself or others. I've never been a harm to myself or others, never had a mental illness. So imagine, I felt so betrayed. Like, that's the word. I felt betrayed by the very same system that's designed to protect me, the system that I took my clients to who were suicidal. Like, how full circle is it where I worked my whole entire life, and I want people to understand this, and my personal close friends understand this about me because they know me. I worked so hard to never end up in handcuffs, to not use a drug, to not drink, to not be in the seat that took my parents away from me, and to be accused of that, and to be in a psych ward.
Treated as guilty, accused and charged and convicted.
And my tox screens are negative. And they're seeing scientific evidence to prove that the so-called reports of me trying to OD the night before are false because my tox screens are negative.
That's crazy how much power somebody has when they got a whole lot of money, right? And this was done by her own parent, by her own mother. Like, that is a shame, yo. And I got to give a shout out to Mel Dub, right? Because he is somebody that also brought up the topic, right? Did our generation and the generation before our generation mess up this generation that's coming up in the one after it?
And what people don't know, I haven't lived with my mother since 2017. This is public record. And the day that I got Baker acted, March 27, 2024, the last time I saw my mom was 6 months prior. December 25th, 2023 was the last physical time I was with my mother. And the last time I spoke to her was December 30th, 2023.
That was what they were showing.
I didn't have a relationship with her. Like, I didn't know you had mentioned anything.
What is this? The last time she was with her mother? Hold on.
So for Dr. Daniel Bolbar to say, we got a call that the night before you tried to OD in front of family, how, if I wasn't physically living with family since 2017, specifically my mother, and I wasn't even in communications with her or the so-called two witnesses, one being a Rock Nation assistant by the name of Natalie Anderson, and another one being an aunt. I hadn't been in communication with them since December 30th, 2023. 6 months later to say the night before, where are the ambulance reports that I tried to OD?
Is this the 16-year-old that, Fat Joe did the things to? Let's go forward a little bit. All right. I just want to get to, I want to get a little more info. So y'all heard a little bit of her story. Go check Tyrone out. I'm going to go forward a little bit. I want to see what's really going on.
That's all.
Now, these words have replayed in my head for the past couple of days after lawsuit after lawsuit has come out involving some pretty powerful men in the Hollywood hierarchy. This time it's none other than your boy Fat Joe. Now, Terrence T.A. Dixon, Fat Joe's longtime hype man, has filed a $20 million federal lawsuit in New York accusing the rapper of years of abuse, exploitation, and coercion.
So it's two people filing a lawsuit against Fat Joe, his hype man, and the shorty, Desiree's daughter.
Dixon alleges that over their 16-year working relationship, he was subjected to financial fraud, violent intimidation, and even sexual manipulation, sometimes involving a youngin'. Now, this suit claims that Dixon contributed creatively to major songs like Congratulations and Ice Cream, but was systematically erased while Fat Joe and his team reap the benefits. Even more disturbing, Dixon says he was forced into over 4,000 sexual acts under threat and constant
That is
surveillance,
crazy.
fearing for his safety and his job. Now, Fat Joe, whose real name is Joseph Cartagena, is now being represented by high-profile attorney Joe Tacopina, and these allegations mark a shocking turn in the public image of one of hip-hop's most recognizable figures.
Yo, this damn lawyer is defending every celebrity that's being accused of pedophilia. That is crazy right there. Is there a culture of silence in hip-hop and entertainment that protects abusers? How does the public reconcile admiration for an artist with serious allegations against them? Are fans complicit when they dismiss or downplay abuse allegations against their favorite celebrities? What responsibility do media outlets have in covering these stories with sensitivity and balance? And it's crazy because a lot of people will sit here and dismiss what Fat Joe did, right? And even though the lyrics to the song that got him caught up, right, may seem cool, right, at the end of the day, they're meant for a 16-year-old. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, Biggie has been exposed for his lyrics. You see where I'm coming from? Fat Joe is being exposed for his lyrics. A lot of these celebrities have been exposed for their lyrics. It's crazy how they do these acts, right? They commit these deeds and they think it's okay. And then they bring it out here for the public to hear it. And what's crazy is what they know what they're doing, because it takes a minute for the public to even, how can I say, the public to even perceive what's written within these lyrics.
We are going to break this story down with the lawsuit and so much more. But before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this case and so much more. Now let's get back into it.
What if you can create your own website by saying this?
God damn, Fat Joe, it is going down.
Yes, it is.
What in the hell is going on?
They're just falling out the sky, because I honestly thought I was going to get me a 2-day break, but no. And I'll tell you what, the lawsuits that have been coming by lately, these people have not been on my bingo card. And I know I'm not wrong. Which one of y'all knew Fat Joe would be next? I'll wait. Yeah. So to give you a brief summary,
I didn't even think Fat Joe was going to be in it at all. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, what in the world is going on?
before we break down the lawsuit, Terrence Dixon, known as TA, is suing rapper Fat Joe, Joseph Cartagena, for $20 million, accusing him of running a long-term abusive criminal enterprise that exploited Dixon's talents, labor, and even his body. Now, over 16 years, Dixon says he worked as a hype man, lyricist, vocalist, and security, contributing to hits like Congratulations, Ice Cream, and Money Over Bitches. But instead of being paid or credited, Dixon claims he was systematically robbed of royalties, forced into silence, and subjected to sexual coercion, sometimes under surveillance or at parties allegedly involving youngsters. Now, the lawsuit names others in Fat Joe's circle, including Pistol Pete Torres and Richard Rich Player Jobster, accusing them of threats and violence. It also implies Roc Nation and CEO Desiree Perez is helping to cover up the exploitation and financial misconduct. Dixon alleges that he was denied rightful payments, while fake documents were filed with BMI and ASCAP to erase his authorship.
That is crazy, yo. Like, there's not, I mean, this mofo was here sitting here playing his employees, using his employees while mistreating, and I wouldn't say abusing, grooming minors.
And funnel royalties to Fat Joe. Fat Joe is accused of laundering money, committing tax fraud, and even using burner social media accounts to threaten Dixon with statements like, "We let you live." The suit cites RICO violations, witness intimidation, and retaliation, including a separate baseless lawsuit filed by Roc Nation and Fat Joe, allegedly meant to scare Dixon into silence. Dixon is asking the court to hold all involved parties accountable for years of exploitation, deception, and abuse. Now let's get into it. So this lawsuit is very lengthy. I'm not going to read all of it. We're going to read parts, but let me first summarize a little bit of it. So from 2005 to 2022, Dixon worked without a formal contract, but was promised 15% ownership and royalties on songs he helped write and perform. like All the Way Up, which was a huge hit, Congratulations, and Ice Cream. But despite shaping these songs with his lyrics, hooks, and background vocals, Dixon was erased from official records, never listed in BMI, as
Damn, that's crazy. Is that kind of like what they did to Cuban Link in a way?
Cap or any performing
Damn.
rights organization. Now, Fat Joe and his business
Fat Joe, you making New York look bad, my nigga. You making New York look real bad, my nigga. You got me stuttering, tripping over my words and shit, nigga. You got the city looking bad. I don't like it, nigga. You ignorant bastard. Let's not forget those racist remarks you said months back. We ain't forget about that, Fat Joe. We ain't forget about that. You sat up there in the barbershop with Mav Hoffa on My Expert Opinion, and you said some real flagrant BS.
He did. He was even taking credit away from the actual, the original creators of hip hop. I don't know what's going on with Fat Joe, but I see what's going on with Fat Joe. Like, this mofo, a 16-year-old, like, that is crazy. He groomed us. Like, how you gonna sit here and tell all your homies you're really sitting contemplating leaving your wife for this 16-year-old? What the fuck is wrong with you? You gonna leave your wife for a fucking little girl that doesn't know how to wipe her ass, just know how to give some good head, and then you put this shit on a song? That is crazy.
You disrespected the old school artists, the founding forefathers, the rappers that started this rap shit.
Yo, let's see if we can get to the lyrics a little bit, because I know they talk about the lyrics on here.
Fat Joe putting on the paperwork, he paying this nigga $3,000 a show, but he only giving this nigga $250.
Damn, he was exploiting his employees. That's why you under fire. What the fuck, Fat Joe? Like, you went and did that movie. I forgot what the name of that movie was, right? Where you was like a gangster and shit like that, and you was like trying to take over the whole world. I forgot what the name of that damn movie was. Y'all was. I think it's called Empire, if I'm not mistaken. And you really went and soaked that movie into your brain. Like, you really believe that movie was true, huh? This is crazy.
What?
$30,000 payment from Live Nation meant for Dixon and used it to pay off personal IRS debt. Now, he also accused the enterprise of stealing over $60,000 in per diem payment meant to cover food, lodging, and travel. Also, as a result, Dixon says he was often left sleeping in airports in unsafe accommodations while Fat Joe and his entourage traveled in luxury. Now, the lawsuit goes far beyond money. Dixon says that Fat Joe used psychological manipulation and intimidation to keep him compliant.
Isn't that a similar reason that, like, I'm not saying that, but isn't that kind of like, why Cuban Link left them? Because they was trying to play Cuban Link and shit like that. See, and people didn't take heed when Cuban Link was talking about him and made songs about him in the past. What in the world happened? I mean, somebody said in the that Cuban Link got a channel. I gotta go see. I didn't even know that Cuban Link had a channel. The last time I heard, I thought about Cuban Link, I was in my early 20s, like 20, 21, 22, 23, around there.
He often warned Dixon, nobody leaves Terror Squad in one piece, and referenced
he was making threats
like the attack on.
Nobody leave Terror Squad in one piece.
He making threats, huh? Damn, Fat Joe.
Shout out to my big brother Cuban Link. I got to call my big bro. I got to call.
Oh shit, Tyrone, no Cuban Link, Tyrone. Damn, oh shit. I mean, what happened to Cuban Link, man, Tyrone? Let us shorty know. I'm gonna go a little forward to see if we can see the they start talking about the lyrics to the song. What got Fat Joe in this heat?
Oh, are you dumb? It's nasty work.
Asking the court to hold Fat Joe, his companies, and partners like Rock Nation and Erica Moriera accountable under civil RICO laws, forced labor statutes, and federal fraud claims.
Monday.com's AI.
I can't stand when people ask, how do we know it's true? Idiot.
I'm dead. Tyrone about to go off. Yo, I hate the same shit too. Like, how do you know if it's true or not? Yo, it's like, okay, in reality, you know, they're innocent until proven guilty. But at the end of the day, it's like the proof is out there. How much proof do you want?
The case is filed with the courts with receipts.
Tyrone, they some idiots. That's the problem.
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Somebody saying I wasn't being rightfully paid, money is being held back. That's an easy find.
Facts.
Your attorney can subpoena bank records, bank statements, whatever they want to subpoena.
I grabbed one for you. I didn't even peep that.
And they don't have to do that.
Oh.
Because if you kept your receipts, then you have everything you need. You got contracts saying you supposed to be paid X amount for this work on these dates. You have your actual bank statements that say for that work on those dates, even though I was supposed to be paid that, this is what they were sending to my bank account. Look,
facts, Tyrone.
You can see that. Numbers don't lie.
Men lie,
a paper
women
trail
lie.
is a paper trail. If I got my signature and Fat Joe's signature on a contract saying Fat Joe is paying me X amount of dollars, but then my bank statement says something different, then what's the debate?
That's what's crazy. They was committing money laundering and using the bull's name for it. That's some fucked up shit. Because it's like, God damn, like I respected you. You was my employer. And then not just my employer, we was rocking with each other. Like, how you just gonna fuck me over like that? That's crazy what people do to people.
This is a clear case here. This is a clear case of fraud, coercion.
Yeah.
Definitely laws been broken, labor laws. You got this nigga working day in, day out, losing sleep. We talking about just labor laws. Labor laws. Tax invasion. Because Fat Joe filed taxes every year. He's saying he paid this nigga X amount of dollars. This nigga saying I never received that money. That's tax invasion.
Yo, if Fat Joe was your employer, right, and he was paying you this amount of money, right, and then later on in the future, you know, the feds come knocking on your door talking about you owe taxes and this and that, how would you react? What would you do to Fat Joe? Let's be real. Like, motherfucker, you using my name?
Employers pay income taxes on payroll.
I mean, if you want to take it, I'm saying go ahead, smoke that, leave that alone. I'll tell you.
Niggas getting tax write-offs. Fat Joe been scamming, getting PPP loans. Shit crazy. This shit nasty work. This nigga out here making New York City look bad.
Now, Fat Joe's control over the plaintiff extended far beyond mere financial exploitation or denial of credit. Over 16 years, defendant cultivated a deliberate environment of psychological manipulation and persistent threats to ensure plaintiffs' continued submission, silence, and loyalty despite ongoing abuse, exploitation, and humiliation.
So there was abuse. Was the abuse towards the minor, or was it towards his hype man?
Defendant Cartagena frequently warned plaintiff with chilling explicitness, repeatedly saying nobody leaves terror squad in one piece. He often reinforced this threat by openly referencing former associates.
Oh, so he was threatening his employees. Okay, I'm putting two and two together. I was a little lost for a second. I apologize, guys. That shit, what is up with, like, did he have the same fucking problem? Like, is it a sense of entitlement because they carried his bag? Like, come on, man. Like, you starting war, you having people scared of you. How is y'all making money? In reality,
who had suffered violent reprisal after falling out of favor. For example, defendant explicitly invoked the notorious assault of Louis Cuban Link Tybin, who was viciously attacked.
Shout out to Cuban Link. Shout out to my big brother Cuban Link. Shout out to my big brother Cuban Link. One of the realest niggas that ever did it in the terror squad. One of Fat Joe old associates who never switched up. Cuban Link been the same nigga. Cuban Link told the same story from day one. Cuban Link never put no fluff on it. He never had to lie on Fat Joe. Shout out to Cuban. I'm gonna call you later on.
Cuban Link Tybin, who was viciously attacked, permanently scarred, and publicly humiliated following his departure from defendant's circle. These statements were not merely idle explicitly invoked leaves terror squad in one piece. He often reinforced this threat by openly referencing former associates who had suffered violent reprisal after falling out of favor. For example, defendant explicitly invoked the notorious assault of Louis Cuban Link Tybin, who was viciously attacked, permanently scarred, and publicly humiliated following his departure from defendant's circle. These statements were not merely idle threats or exaggeration. They constituted explicit and calculated warnings deliberately issued to plaintiff to convey that any act of resistance, disloyalty, or demand for fair treatment would inevitably lead to severe physical harm, public disgrace, professional sabotage, or worse.
Yo, I'm telling you, Big Pun gotta be rolling in circles right now, man, in his grave, yo. May Big Pun have peace in paradise, but this shit right here is crazy. It's Cuban Link, for those of y'all that don't know who Cuban Link is. Shout out to Cuban Link. Yo, man, big shout out to Cuban Link, yo. This is one of my favorite songs from Cuban Link. Muerto! That's some real shit, man. Man, you know, Big Pun have peace in paradise, yo. And it's crazy that right now he's got to be rolling in circles in his grave, yo. Because no matter how you look at it, Fat Joe's name is always going to be linked to Big Pun. No matter how you look at it, Fat Joe's going to be linked to Cuban Link. And that's the fucked up part about it. Cuban Link been said fuck Fat Joe, but nobody wanted to listen why. And the reasons why he was saying fuck Fat Joe. See, I was young at the moment. And as I got older, I started realizing shit. But I didn't know that it had to be, you know, that it involved minors. Like, that's why I'm looking at this shit like, what the fuck is going on? Minors, though? Oh, why can't I get... I'm supposed to be showing the video, but it won't... Come on, dude. Minors, though? Like, how many of y'all would have thought that, you know, Fat Joe... I mean, but we was born like shit. The fucking cat got released from the fucking hat. He came and exposed all the celebrities. So it's kind of like, hey, if we didn't take heed to what we was told, who's to blame? Those that didn't want to listen on some real shit. Like, for real. The cat got fucking released from the hat a long time ago. And what was we doing? Laughing and joking. Some people took it seriously. Right? But others was just like, that's just Cat Williams talking shit. Is it? Is it? You gotta realize, man, we're living in a fucking spiritual realm right now. For real.
In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn the blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our...
Through these sustained and credible threats, defendant intentionally reinforced the message that plaintiff had no visible path to safely exit their working relationship or demand rightful compensation without facing devastating personal consequence. Defendant methodically cultivated an atmosphere where fear or violence, retaliation, abandonment abroad, and career destruction permeated plaintiff's daily experience, effectively destroying any notion of autonomy. Plaintiff's working conditions were oppressive and unpredictable, deliberately designed to amplify his vulnerability and dependency. The defendant...
That is crazy. So we're gonna go a little forward. I'm trying to see if I can get to the lyrics.
This is crazy. Rose and gold. Hey, pretty face. Good morning. Definitely. Good morning, pretty faces. I see you, lady.
Tyrone is such a fresco. Tyrone, you so fresco.
Skip around a little bit. Like I said, this lawsuit is long. So defendant Cartagena and his senior...
See, that's why I was skipping around the video too, because I want to, get this out there for y'all to see, right? So go check out Tyrone Motif for the full video. Let me leave his link down below just in case anybody want to go check his YouTube. My bad. Let me do this the proper way. I'm tripping, aren't I? Let me apologize to y'all. Here we go. Boom. That's Tyrone's YouTube link for those that want to go check him out and watch the full video without no interruptions. But this is a Shorty's Live. I'm giving my commentary, my perspective. It is also an open panel if y'all wish to come up and give y'all perspectives real quick on this topic, right? Before I hop on to the next topics, all right?
Your associates regularly use phrases and terms that function as internal codes to direct violence, sexual coercion, intimidation, and other illicit conduct. That included the Dern, which means fat Joe or fat guy, the Don, which was fat Joe, Bowanches, which is targeted females referred to as bitches, Pyops, which is coerced or violent sexual acts, Calpy, which means no physical assault or slap, Cooling, which means rectum or anus, Ketchup, which means...
What the fuck is this? These are code words? Yo, am I tripping?
Don, which was fat Joe, Bowanches, which is targeted females referred to as bitches, Pyops, which is coerced or violent sexual acts, Calpy, which means no physical assault or slap, Cooling, which means rectum or anus, Ketchup.
Cooling meant rectum or anus. What, they got secret words too? Yo, Fat Joe, what the fuck is y'all doing?
No physical assault or slap, Cooling, which means rectum or anus, Ketchup, which means stabbing or slashing, Atandon, which means unalive him or him, Theory, which means baby mother, wife, or girlfriend, and Corbin, which means to place a victim in a casket. So these terms were used in text messages, in-person conversations, studio banter, and back-channel communication to direct enforcers, silence dissenters, and coordinate enterprise activities across geographic locations. The coded language was essential and maintained the structure's secrecy while allowing the most extreme form of coercion and violence to be ordered and executed without exposing the enterprise to immediate scrutiny.
That's
so now
crazy.
we're going to speak about the youngin.
Wow.
One.
So
now they're gonna get into the minor. So I wish I would have known that was the, so I would have gotten into it, but I didn't know. But shit, I'm glad Tyrone put this live up there because I wouldn't have been able to really, get to know this, what's happening, right? Unless I would have, went and checked out one of the big YouTubers. And I don't know if one of the big YouTubers like Nick at Night or something has hit onto this yet. Because I haven't heard them. Damn, I haven't got a notification yet from Nick at Night in any new videos. I know she hit the Diddy trial thingy.
He gave up all of their code language. So when the feds confiscate their goddamn devices, goddammit, they can decode their conversations. Might be dated back years. Goddamn, Fat Joe, it's about to be over.
That shit crazy.
This nigga just decoded your whole way of communicating with your gang. He just decoded that for the feds.
Busted.
Oh my God, it's over.
So they're about to get into the young girl now.
Youngin Doe 1 is a 16-year-old Dominican girl residing in New York. In exchange for cash, clothing.
A 16-year-old girl, Fat Joe?
Yo, a lot of these celebrities are into minors, man. And that's why I tell people, man, celebrity, that's what y'all look up for when it comes to love, relationship goals, and all that. These celebrities, man, are either going through the same thing you're going through or sometimes worse, or doing some fucked up shit. That's why I said I was expecting everything but the minor situation out of Fat Joe. Like, really, dude? Isn't he like a father? Then he raised some daughters. You see where I'm coming from? Like, what? Yeah, doesn't Fat Joe have a daughter? I know he has an autistic son. I know about the autistic son. See, I gotta look into Fat Joe a little more.
16, Fat Joe? Oh my God. God bless her sweet little heart. God damn. God bless her sweet heart. Damn, Fat Joe. A child.
That's why I'm looking at it like, dude, I know that for a fact you donate to the autism fund, fundraiser, right? You do all that. You're a part of that. Plus you donate laptops to schools. Like, you do a lot when it comes to the youth. But you're sitting here, what, like, you see that, right? Now I'm looking at you like, is she the only one? Were you picking this out of, you know, the things that you were doing within communities, helping out the youth? So what, you was out here seeking them within these groups? Like, yo, like, you can never get in the mind of somebody that has a, you know, a head so sick. My bad. You can never get in the head, right, of somebody that has a mind that's so sick. I even discombobulated myself. Like, the fuck is going on?
Ow, my nigga. Are you dumb?
Super.
They got him.
They did.
They got him.
They
got him.
In a payment of her cell phone bill to immediate scrutiny. So now we're going to speak about the Youngin Doe 1. Youngin Doe 1 is a 16-year-old Dominican girl.
Her name is Minor Doe 1. That means it have to be a Minor Doe 2.
Yep, there is.
If they got her labeled as 1.
They do. I mean, damn, this nigga's getting hit with a RICO case left and right. And not just that. I mean, isn't it worse when the minors are involved in, like, sex exploitation, grooming, and all that shit?
That means there's a 2. God damn, Fat Joe. If she's the only one, there would be no need for the number 1 in her name. So if they had to add a 1, that's so we would know the difference between her and the other victim.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But let's go forward a little bit, guys.
Me, there's enough to put 1. It would be mine. It's mine 2. And
facts.
Girl residing in New York. In exchange for cash, clothing, and payment of her cell phone bill, defendant would get oral sex and other sexual acts performed on him by Youngin number 1. On one occasion, while driving in New York City, Youngin number 1 asked the defendant for money to buy her a cell phone. Being notoriously cheap, the defendant claimed to be broke. The upset Youngin 1 began yelling, cursing, and screaming.
I cannot. So Fat Joe said he was claiming to be broke to this young girl, but he was trying to, you know, treat her like a wifey, apartment, condo, whatever he had for her. Like, is you serious? This motherfucker is playing house with a little ass fucking girl. Like, she's having a whole temper tantrum because he said I'm broke. And that should show you right there.
plaintiff begged defendant to pay Youngkin's phone bill, which was less than $100. Now we're going to move on to Youngkin 2.
Wait a minute. So you was complaining about paying $100 bill, but like Fat Joe, wasn't you contemplating about leaving your wife for one of these two? So there is a minor doe number 2, like Tyrone was saying. There's a reason they said minor doe 1, because if not, they would have just said minor doe.
Fat Joe, you know you breaking the law by even having this girl in your goddamn presence, my nigga. Are you dumb?
Yeah, very dumb.
She don't have no parent, no legal guardian. You not her family member. This woman don't have no goddamn business with you. There's no justification.
Correction, Tyrone. That's not a woman. That's a young lady. Young. She's still a teenager.
What you gonna say? Oh, she's a fan? Nigga, well then you could have signed the autograph and kept it walking, nigga. If she was just a fan.
Trying to pull a Drake.
Nasty work. Oh my God, minor doe 2, and I see a minor doe 3. Oh.
Damn, Fat Joe, like you into young ladies? How old was your wifey when you met her? And I mean, no disrespect. What in the world? 3 minors?
Oh my God, Fat Joe, it is over. I smell a Rico. I smell a Rico. Rico.
That's why he hit.
Rico. I smell a Joe.
You getting hit with that Rico?
I smell a. I'm about to make a song about this link studio. I go. I will go.
Occasions with the Youngkin 2 is not 2. Now, Youngkin 2 is a Caucasian female. She is not a United States citizen.
Oh,
the defendant
my
began
God.
having sexual relations with the Youngkin 2 when she was 15 years old after a concert.
Wow.
Overseas. Defendant flew Youngkin 2 to New York City and Miami, Florida.
Wow. This one was younger than the first victim. This one was 15. The other one was 16. It seems like Fat Joe was into younger girls. Wow. Did anybody expect for Fat Joe to be a predator? No matter how you look at this, it's still considered statutory rape.
On multiple occasions. Due to Youngkin 2's body being adolescent and not fully formed, defendant paid for her to get a Brazilian butt lift.
What?
Youngkin 2 eventually left defendant and...
Hold the fuck up. Wait a minute. He went and gave this 15-year-old a Brazilian butt lift? Fat Joe, what the you know what? Now he's not just fucking a younger girl. He's sitting here trying to change the image of this younger girl.
Is now married to a professional athlete. Defendant 3 is a Latino female who met the defendant when she was 15 years old, turning 16. According to the defendant was in love with Youngkin number 3. He even contemplated leaving his wife. The defendant paid all of Youngkin 3's bills and even took her overseas for his stop.
This shit is crazy. So he wasn't planning on leaving his wife for a 16-year-old. He was planning on leaving his wife for a 15-year-old. You're telling me this woman that you sat here and procreated kids with, sat here and built a home with, you was going to leave her with for a 16-year-old? And this is the woman that is the mother of his autistic son, right? This shit is crazy. Damn, Fat Joe. See how you cover up this right here by trying to give to the youth while you taking the innocence of a lot of them. Ain't that some shit? Huh.
He brought her to Florida.
Wow. So you taking this minor out the country. 15 years old.
Shit. Something wrong with him, Tyrone?
She was 15. Fat Joe was in his late 30s. Wait, what? I smell a Rico. I smell a Rico. And almost coughed up a goddamn. Where you from? New York.
Let's see if they get to the lyrics. Hey, how we get a freaking ad? Oh, I keep forgetting Tyron is monetized.
Don't.
5. In a recorded conversation, Young and 3 and her 15-year-old cousin described in detail to plaintiff how inappropriate it was for defendant, who was in his late 30s at the time, to be fawning over youngins. The defendant sees no shame in his depravity towards youngins. Defendant Cartagena has demonstrated a disturbing lack of remorse or discretion regarding his predatory behavior. Rather than conceal his actions, he has on multiple occasions alluded to or openly referencing sexual inappropriate conduct in his public persona and artistic output. In a song titled She's My Mama.
Wow, that's crazy. So that's the name of the song. It's called She Is My Mama. And he put that shit out there in, like, let me see if I can find that shit. Fat Joe. Oh, they got this shit on YouTube still? Get the fuck out of here. They do got this shit on YouTube still. It's got 60K, 65K views on one, 45K views on another, 20K views on another one. This the ones with lyrics. Oh, yep. All right, so let's see what the song is about. Let's hear the song. Let's hear the song before we hear what they got to say. So before they show us the lyrics, let's see the lyrics. Shout out to Tyron Motif. All right, so this is the song. Let's see, is this the original song? No, this is not the right song. That's not the right song. So I don't think I can get the lyrics. So let's see. So we gotta listen carefully to the lyrics, all right? Because this one doesn't have no damn lyrics. I was trying to get one with lyrics, but so far it's just with his picture or the thumbnail of his cover. Now she was only 16. I had to nurture that. That's crazy.
I make you a star. Now she was only 16. I had to nurture that. Give her some growth. Waited till I touched the cat. Told her she gonna have to work.
Gave her some dope. Wait until I touched the cat. So basically, he's admitting to grooming here a 16-year-old.
She gonna get ahead. Then she drove me berserk when she gave me some head. She told me that she learned that from the porno flicks.
So the little shorty drove him berserk when she gave him some head. She told him that she learned that from a porno flick. I
said, "Mommy, stop."
I'm just using her for paper. She want a man, but she understand. What the fuck? He's seeing other bitches, but she understand. She's a fucking 16-year-old that you're grooming. That is fucking stigmatized by a celebrity. She's a fangirl.
She's my mommy.
He had this shorty out here bagging up. Yo, what the fuck? So basically she was, she had your money and your drugs. He was using, that's how you was using her for paper. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, this motherfucker. Yo, he is not trying to blow her cover, is what he said. Yo, Fat Joe, you is out of pocket. I can't. Yo, this is crazy. Yeah, you deserve everything that's coming your way. Just like R. Kelly, just like Diddy.
Defendant delivers lyrics that, when considered in context, reflect an unhealthy and troubling fixation on young individuals.
What?
The content of the song is explicit, suggestive, and disturbingly detailed, and defendant uses it to normalize, romanticize, or even boast about behavior that aligns with the pattern of coercive and exploitation.
Yo, that's why I don't agree with the men that are on here, right? Over their 20s and their 30s and their 40s and their 50s. Even in these 60s, talking about, oh, it's okay to, you know, go into a club, right? If she looks like she's grown, it was a mistake. No, the fuck is not. You can't commit the same mistake 2 to 3 times. It's too many motherfuckers using that excuse. Oh, I couldn't tell that she was a little girl. She looked too grown. I get that, but you should be able to tell the difference. Within the talk, within the walk, within something. The conversation is being held. And even though there are some young women out here that can hold on some good conversations like a grown-ass woman, men have been able to tell, oh, wait a minute, let me keep my distance. Nah, shorty, I ain't falling for the trap. Real shit. And these men ain't ashamed to say, yo, this little shorty is out of pocket, put her right there on the spot, because these little girls will sit here, at the end of the day, you'll be behind bars or in a coffin for even trying to fucking play the game. Motherfuckers don't understand, yo. That's why I can't stand the men to come online and make it seem like it's okay for grown-ass men to do shit like this. Fat Joe thought it was okay to put this shit out here for the world to see, for the public to perceive.
Exploitation described.
Damn. She's my mama. They got the song and the lyrics. And this is one of Fat Joe fucking producers and songwriters. A nigga that was working with Fat Joe for over 20 years, traveled the world with him, in the studio with him every night. So when Fat Joe is making music, he know what this song is about, because he helped Fat Joe write the goddamn lyrics. He know what Fat Joe want in the song and why.
Facts.
So he's not lying. This isn't just a fly on the wall, a nigga that was in this wanted me to write a song, or this is girl taking her shit, meet him at the studio.
This shit is crazy, yo. Shout out to Tyrone.
Those are called statements of fact in a court of law. Let's use our facial recognition technology, so we can identify this little girl and go and make contact with her. Damn, Fat.
That is crazy, yo. Like, but Tyrone is spitting some gems right there and some fact show at the same fucking time. Snitched on them. Like, nah, motherfucker. You self-snitched.
Damn, Fat Joe. They done broke down the lyrics. Oh, now she was only 16. Wow. Regal. God damn.
She was only 16. I had to nurture that, give her some growth. Waited till I touched her. Told she's going to have to work if she's going to get ahead.
What?
Now she was only 16. I had shopping. Louis Vuitton.
Oh, that's what he said. That nigga think he cute. He was talking about a guy. See, I wish they would have had the lyrics so I could have like broke it down too. But this shit is crazy, yo. We're gonna hear what Tyrone says, and then we're gonna hit like to like 4 video clips from the current news to see what's going on around us, man. But this case with Fat Joe, was y'all expecting for Fat Joe to get hit with a RICO like this? I mean, obviously, I thought, the money laundering, yeah, obviously. They talk about it a lot in their fucking music. The bodies, probably, they talk about it in their music. They talk about a lot of shit. But see, I never really, know about that's my mama's song. So that's crazy how he's got that on that album right there. I wonder how many more songs got lyrics like this.
Time, Gucci, we get it popping. We hit the club on some Clico shit. See the lyrics. Now she was only 16.
Hold on. Fat Joe, if you wasn't talking about a minor, my nigga, I'm not even gonna lie, my nigga. I'm not even gonna lie. The verse is fire. My nigga. But you talking about a minor. You talking about a little girl. This shit is weird. This was a fire verse, my nigga. I'm looking at the lyric, my nigga, the storyline. This shit is fire, my nigga. But you about to throw away your whole legacy, my nigga, in a song about a fucking little girl that exists in real life.
He already threw his whole legacy away, Tyron. Like, then how many more songs are out there like this? You see where I'm coming from? Like, this is the one part I did not expect. All right. And it's crazy. Like, he's real explicit with what he does with this minor in this song. And there's a lot of these celebrities out here doing this. So you have to be cautious and pay attention to the lyrics of the, to the lyrics of these lyricists that are coming out now, right? Because if y'all think Fat Joe has got lyrics like this, y'all should listen to some of the music that's coming out now. And some of these motherfuckers ain't like, in they, how can I say, in their teenage years. They're young, but not that young.
How you breaking the law, sleeping with a minor, and then you go in the studio and fucking make a song about it, and then you actually put the song on your album and give it to the world? Mm-hmm. Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
I was just saying that. That's a fact.
Fat Joe, what the hell is wrong with you?
Now she was only 16. I had to nurture that, give her some growth. Waited till I touched her. Told she's going to have to work if she's going to get ahead. Then she drove me berserk. When she gave me she told me that she learned that from a P flick. I said, Mommy, stop talking. Just I ain't say her name yet, so let's say she's nothing. Now watch me turn this nothing into something. Get it? Mommy, get in the kitchen.
All right, so I'm gonna stop that right there. I want y'all to go check out Tyron Motif. I left this link down below so that y'all can go check him out. All right, let us shorty know what y'all think. Let us shorty know what y'all think about what's going on with Fat Joe, the situation with Fat Joe. Right? What are y'all opinions? Like this right here, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I was not expecting the minor situation, right, to be a part of the RICO, but apparently it seems like a lot of these celebrities are into minors, right? Like, whew, how do we support survivors of abuse when the accused holds fame, wealth, and influence? Can public lawsuits like this one spark systematic change, or do they just become media spectacles? My bad. What does justice look like when reputations, careers, and lives are on the line? And how can we create safer, more transparent, creative environments for artists and their teams? Because it's crazy. He's getting, he's the part of the lawsuit has to do too with his little hype man suing the crap out of him for abuse and shit like that. Like, damn, I feel some type of way too if you're using my name, saying that you're paying me this amount of money to get this much of money back, right? But you're not really paying me this much. Like, was he doing money laundering, using his employees and shit like that? Like, that would have been fucked up. There's so many ways I can go about this. For real. He was committing fraud. That is tax fraud, no matter how you look at it. Man. All right. So, we're going to move on to the next topic, right? Because I do know, right? Let me check the chat. Yeah, ain't nobody down below, right? In the chat, I don't see nobody down there. But I'm going to put out here the news, man. We got a group of teens brutally attacked 13-year-old autistic boy to steal his sneakers, the mother says. And it's crazy, right? Like, there's a lot of these teens out here. There's a lot going on, right, within our communities, right? Especially here in Philadelphia, right? North Philadelphia at that. We're in the Hunting Park area, right? I don't know where y'all watching from and how it is within y'all communities, right? But I feel as though that this is happening within a lot of communities, right? And this is why we've been talking about bringing back a lot of programs, right, to get our kids off these streets, especially the ones that, think that following someone is cute because they have nothing else to do, right? They think that following this crowd is cool, right? They're going to fit in. There's really nothing out there for a lot of these boys to do, right? So they're really looking at a lot of these men out here in these streets, right? They still are hustling in their 40s, 50s, and I'm still looking at them like, I'm giving them the bombastic side eye. Like, come on, man. And like not realizing that even these old heads out here are smoking their own, like, what profit is they making? So we're trying to bring more resources, more programs back into our communities, right? Especially, it's not easy, right? With all these budget cuts that Trump is doing, right? All these programs, more programs being taken away and shit like that. So we got to try to figure out how we can get these kids that do want the help, the type of resources, right, that they need, especially when it's not within their community in that reach no more.
Tonight, a 13-year-old boy is recovering from a broken jaw. The young boy who has autism became a crime victim all because some teens wanted his sneakers. The brutal attack happened in Harlem, where police say 3 teens punched, kicked, and robbed him. Tonight, his mother
Oh,
is
this
talking
happened
to
in Harlem.
Eyewitness
This
News
wasn't in
reporter
Philly.
Lucy Yang.
This was over here in Harlem. This was in New York. Oh, well, we got the Harlem news right now. Okay, we're gonna get into Philly soon.
I know what y'all did wasn't right, but I love them no matter what, because they still a child of God. I'm gonna cry.
A Harlem mother torn tonight between forgiveness and justice. Last Wednesday, her 13-year-old son, who is autistic, was innocently coming home from school when a group of teenagers surrounded him and started punching and kicking him here on the corner of 134th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue. They grabbed his shoes and Nike mask and left him fearing for his life. His jaw is now broken in 2 places. We're told the metal plate in his mouth is permanent. They're waiting to learn if the rod will have to remain as well. The 7th grader left on a liquid.
It's a shame that a lot of these teens are doing the stuff like this, man, because they're not just doing it to the kids with special needs or kids that are younger than them, man. They're doing it to the veterans and much more. I don't know how it hasn't hit the news how many veterans out here have gotten hurt and their property stolen due to the youth. Right? I do speak up on the kids' rights and much more, right? But we do know we got these badass kids out here that at the end of the day need some type of help, somewhere. Listen, I don't know how to put it, right? Because back then they used to have a lot of programs to put these badass kids in. Now they don't.
Diet. 2 front teeth were knocked out. Worse yet, he lost his sense of independence.
Is he scared to go outside?
Yes, he is. I gotta go with him. At first, he would love to go outside by himself, but now he don't even go out with his sisters. He'll go with somebody.
The day after the attack, police arrested 2 young boys, ages 16 and 15.
Damn.
The mother tells me the violent teens recorded the attack and posted it on social media,
That's
which
crazy.
may have led to their swift arrest.
So they didn't just sit here and beat this 13-year-old autistic boy. They sat here and bashed him through social media. That is fucked up.
Detectives still looking for one more teenager while the victim recovers at home.
So that's 3
In
of
Harlem, Lucy Yang, Channel 7.
It was 3 of them. 3 of them. It took 3 kids to sit here and beat up a 13-year-old autistic boy to just steal his shoes. And it's a shame. Not just so long ago, we were talking about how they were just, they were real young, from 18 to 13, that sat here and, threw acid-like chemicals, fluids on a transgender woman. And I think it's fucked up. Like, what type of solutions can we bring to the table, right? What type of resources can we bring within our communities that y'all think that we could put these kids in? Because none of these programs, that boot camp don't exist no more, right? None of these programs, a lot of programs got closed down, right? Due to, sexual abuse and much more. That's understandable. But there were a lot of programs out here that were really benefiting our kids, from the Big Brother program on down. Why can't these kids still get these resources? And they've been taken away for a long, long time, right? I'm glad they got the Girl Scouts back for the girls, right? But when it comes to the boys, I don't think they should bring back Boy Scouts. They should bring something back, right? But not. If they're gonna bring the Boy Scouts, change it from Boy Scouts to something else, where the boys won't get bashed, bullied, or none of that. Because you gotta really realize, like back then, like I remember it too. Like, even though it was a good program, a lot of the boys got picked on for being on Boy Scouts. So I feel as though the name should be changed a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're gonna move on to the next video, man. Let us shorty know what y'all think right down below. Leave y'all comments down below, and let's get the discussion started.
The hustle of a Friday afternoon dismissal. You wouldn't know anything out of the ordinary happened here at Randolph Middle School back on May 5th.
They're losing a lot of trust with the parents and the community because it's just one after another, incident after incident.
Alicia Hicks is a teacher and parent in the district. She says the lack of communication about campus incidents is frustrating.
Now it makes me feel like although the parent shouldn't put their hands on admin, there might be some truth into what actually happened, and that was mishandled, or it was trying to be swept under the rug, or they tried to handle it in the wrong way.
Court documents show Principal Jennifer Schrader is a victim in the attack. Mariah Hector's daughter called her about a fight at school. Hector and several family members, including Trinity Nixon, showed up at the school and refused to leave when employees asked. The police report says Hector pushed the principal into a wall and grabbed Area Superintendent Jennifer Dean by the neck, allegedly attempting to choke her.
When instruction is coming
Was
first
Hector the
in a
kid?
lot of the classrooms, a lot of the social emotional development is left behind, which causes a lot of the
Okay, so we did react to this one. I don't know why this one's still on the playlist. Charlotte mother charged and banned from school while principal suspended. This is real crazy. Like a parent and a principal got into a whole altercation. So I'm remembering this news article right here. This news clip, my bad.
these fights and a lot of turmoil with the families and the parents and the admin, and I think it's just very unfortunate.
CMS officials have not said if Schrader's suspension is related to this incident. She was suspended 2 weeks after it with pay.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, shit.
At least explain a little bit, give some type of detail instead of just, oh, this teacher or principal stepped away for the time being. We've put somebody in their place because not.
I understand where she's coming from when she's talking about the school staff, right? And shout out to those teachers, those principals, and those counselors that give, that care about the students. But there are some out here that really don't care, and a lot of parents are getting fed up. A lot of parents are, speaking up and standing up for themselves, not just themselves, but for their kids too. And some of them just don't care how they go about it because it's to the point where nobody gives a fuck no more. Either let's make this change, figure out what we gonna do. Like I said, it's gonna get to the point where people are gonna start rioting and doing all this shit, which I don't think we should be doing. I feel as though we should start off with the boycotting and shit like that, right? And do it the right way. Boycotting, protesting, but not no rioting, none of that shit. But I feel as though boycotting will work more.
Now you just have people questioning what's going on top of just everything going on within the school system already.
Hector is banned from the school and faces multiple charges. Jen Cardone, Queen City News.
Atlantic City Mayor.
So, let us shorty know what y'all think. This is crazy, right? I've said this time after time. I feel as though that a lot of parents, right, when it comes to the school board, the school district, they're going to get tired. A lot of parents are going to start using street justice, right, to demand what it is that they want because they're tired of not being listened to. And it's unfortunate that it's getting this far. So the next video we got, Atlantic City mayor and wife back in court in abuse case. This is crazy, right? I'm in North Philadelphia, but I do travel a lot to Atlantic City, especially in the summertime, right? To the casinos, to the beaches, stuff like that. I think this situation right here is crazy. But as y'all can see, right, politicians go through the same shit we go through. Whoa. I wasn't trying to stop sharing.
Marty Small and his wife returned to court today. The couple stands accused of abusing their teenage daughter, then conspiring to destroy evidence against them today in court.
That's crazy. Once again, another case. The power of, how can I say it, being a higher authority and having money.
The defense pushing to get key evidence tossed out. Action News reporter Trish Hartman live in Mays Landing with the details on what happened in court today. Trish.
Wow. Yeah, Greg, the twists and turns continue in this case. Now, this hearing was a continuation from Monday. The defense trying to get key evidence thrown out, iPad recordings of some of the alleged abuse. Atlantic City Mayor Marty Small Sr. and his wife LaQuetta Small were back in Atlantic County Court today for a hearing. They're facing charges they abused their teenage daughter.
Fair to say, Shabieva says, yes, I consented
prior to the recordings being made. She never says that, right?
Today, the lead
Who said they
investigator took the
consented?
stand, testifying about iPad recordings made by the daughter's boyfriend while they were on the phone. Earlier this week, the Smalls' daughter took the stand for the first time in the case, testifying that she told her boyfriend to record their conversations, quote, in case something happens. The Smalls defense team does not think those recordings should be used at trial.
They should be used in trial. Because them recorders gotta have something that shows why this little girl was so scared. This woman or this girl, this teenager, I think it was, right? Teenager, yeah. Was so scared of her mother and father like that. And we're talking about people that are involved in politics. People that got some money behind them. Wow.
I don't think a juvenile can consent. I've given the judge plenty of case law that says that. And we'll have to see.
If a juvenile is in fear of their life, why can't they record? Why? If this is going to help them, is their word against theirs? Why? Why? Doesn't this sound kind of familiar? Doesn't this case sound kind of familiar? What case was it? What case? The Jimenez brothers, I think it was. Was it the Jimenez brothers? I can't remember the name of the case, but as y'all can see, right, the brothers were being abused by their parents, right, and nobody was, listening to them. So what they did was they decided to take justice in their own hands. Was it correct? No, but at the end of the day, they didn't see no other way out. And I feel as though they shouldn't be behind bars because their parents were using, the money and the influence that they had around them to scare the shit out of them. So tell me why, if this teenager feels like their life is in danger, they shouldn't record. Why? Because they're minors? If this audio could put their parents away, right? Instead of this child committing a crime, thinking that, they always got to fear every time they got to fear every time they look, over their shoulders, because their parents might do something because of the influence they got. Then what? Come on, man. I'm getting tired of this shit. That has to change. This right here, boy.
See, what the judge rules on that.
The Smalls are accused of assaulting their daughter in December of 2023 and January of 2024. She was 16 at the time. The Smalls have pleaded not guilty. Mayor Small repeatedly calling the case, quote, a private family matter. Small just recently won the Democratic primary in his quest to serve another term as Atlantic City's mayor.
So because he has a quest to serve another term, that's why y'all really trying to keep it silenced. That's why y'all trying to cover, throw everything under the rug. Let's keep it real, yo. This shit is crazy, yo. So this teenager has no say-so because this teenager is a minor. If their life is in danger, they should be able to speak up because they have rights too. And if they're being abused and there's no way to prove it, and an audio tape is the only way to prove it, why not put that into admission?
Mayor. His wife, Laquetta Small, is the superintendent of Atlantic City Schools. Now, the defense also wanted to call the daughter's boyfriend to the stand today to testify about those recordings. That led to prosecutors moving to disqualify one of the defense attorneys, claiming a possible conflict of interest. Laquetta Small's attorney previously represented him in a juvenile case. Now, no ruling has been made yet on the issue of...
No, man, they're trying to censor this little girl. I believe the little girl. After listening to this show, I think next weekend we're going to go into a deep dive into these little cases. We're going to talk about it, right? I'm going to open the panel up again. I know I'm going to do a live tomorrow. But tonight, I'm definitely going to check out Mouthpiece. I'm check out the Word, right? So I'm going to get a little rest. I'm going to play 2 more videos of what's going on around us, right? But I'm definitely going to get something in my tummy. I'm going to eat something, man, and fall back a little bit because it's still hot as shit. Then I'm going to take my merchandise out there. And I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to fall back for a little bit because it's hot as shit. Right now, it's only 89 degrees down here in North Philadelphia. But let's move on to the next topic, y'all. Because we still ain't hit the 3-hour mark yet. No, not yet. Almost there.
Tragedy for a Delaware County.
Tragedy, Delaware, here in Pennsylvania, huh? 12-year-old girl dies from injuries in scooter accident. Best friend critically hurt. Yo, these scooters, man. And what's crazy is, right, I don't get tired of talking about this, and we're about to see what this video is about. But before we get into the video, right, I do a lot of walk-alongs, right, within my community. I come outside, I show y'all the community, right, how I hate the fact that there's cars parked on the sidewalk. I talk a lot about sometimes, how I hate that, as a biker, somebody that drives bikes and scooters, I hate the fact that, the cars don't know how to share the road. And sometimes we can't even be on the road. I mean, on the sidewalk, right, due to it being crowded with people or it being, crowded with cars. Like, I've had some people complain, like, damn, I'm walking and I got to sit here and go to the street and walk. Like, I've shown y'all, like, 1,000 times, like, there's 2 blocks, right, within my community on this side. That's not comparing the other blocks that are out here doing the same shit, right? Where the cars are in the sidewalk and people got to go to the street and walk until they make it to the other block. And even though the blocks ain't that long, they're not that short either. But at the end of the day, it's fucked up. Like, come on, man. Some of these kids out here, sometimes it's families walking together and they got to break up to walk like they fucking going to their first grade class or they're walking down the hall for lunch in elementary school, right? When they could be walking safely within the curb, within the sidewalk. But people are using it as garages, as parking lots. And I'm looking like, is you fucking serious? It's like too many motherfuckers out here own too many fucking cars before they're owning their own homes. And that shit got me fucked up. And that makes them feel powerful, almighty, because they've spent so much money on these expensive ass cars while they're still running a fucking home. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at some people like, motherfucker, you don't get the fuck out my face and grow up. Mature, motherfucker, mature. So let's see what this incident is about. And hopefully it wasn't that, she had to share the street with the cars in a fucking, you know what? It gets me pissed off because I be trying to figure out where half these people in these cars be going when they be speeding instead of following the law, right? And going by speed limit.
Community, 2 girls riding a scooter were hit by a vehicle. One of them died. The other was seriously injured.
Yeah, the girl's family and friends now left to grieve and pray together. Actually,
oh yeah, it does say that she dies. That's crazy, man. I completely lost track when I said that earlier, man. Talking about it because I get tired. I see this every day. I'm in North Philadelphia, yo, and it happens worse in downtown. It's worse in downtown. But I'm sitting and I'm looking at these little communities like, is y'all serious? Like, do y'all not realize we got to share the road?
News reporter Becca Hendrickson live this afternoon in Ridley Park, where neighbors will gather tonight to show their support for these very young victims. Becca.
Brian and Sarah, the phrase I kept hearing today is Ridley strong. This community wants to be together right now. They're in mourning, but they're coming together to lift each other up and support the families of these young girls during this tragic time.
That's crazy.
One without the other was very rare, so join at the hip and if you got one, you most likely got both.
Those 2 best friends are 12-year-old Abigail Gillen and 11-year-old Isabella Jones. The girls were riding an electric scooter together in Aston Saturday afternoon around 2:30 when they were hit by a car.
It broke my heart. You don't wish this on anybody.
It happened near Concord Road and Laird Boulevard. Police say the driver stayed at the scene and is cooperating. Both girls were rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Abby's family says she passed away Monday night.
There's going to be a big void on our team.
Kevin Pierce is the girls' coach at Ridley Township Swim Club. He says Bella is a bundle of energy and Abby was a joy to be around.
The type of kid that always walked into the pool with a smile on her face. It could have been, 45 degrees and rainy, and she'd show up to swim practice and she'd be laughing and smiling.
Now, the entire Ridley community is in mourning over Abby and hoping for Bella's recovery. The town is binding together, donating tens of thousands of dollars to their families.
We're in the Ridley community. We're very close to the girls that were injured.
Dino's Style Pizza is one of several businesses raising funds. Jen Babe says her granddaughter has been friends with the girls since preschool.
Ridley strong. One of us hurts, we all hurt. That's our motto.
All because these fucking cars can't either share the road or don't understand that sometimes the scooters and the bikes got to go on the road because on the sidewalk, it's not easy to ride it. And then what's crazy is you could tell, like, the cars and the bikes got their own lanes. And even then when the bikes are in their own lanes, these cars are still assholes. The people that be driving the vehicles. That shit pisses me the fuck off, yo. And I know that if it's bad here in Philly, right, it's bad in Pennsylvania, it's bad in New York, it's bad in a whole lot of places where you see people either riding scooters, bikes, or any type of, you know, vehicle like that. I'm not going to say, yeah, it is some type of form of transportation, so.
I've been speaking to Abby's family. They say they want her remembered as an honors student, a foodie, a cheerleader, a swimmer, someone who was always smiling and really loved life. This community coming together to honor both Abby and Bella.
Oh, she in Ridley Park, Pennsylvania, man. Let us know what y'all think about this right here, man. Leave y'all comments down below. Let's get the discussion started. Let's move on to the next video, man.
Dangerous and...
So here in Philly, right, the mayor is getting hard. Car meetups spark chaos in Plymouth Township, Philadelphia.
Destructive, from blocking traffic, doing donuts, to lighting off fireworks.
And this was before, I think, Father's Day, wasn't it? I'm not even sure. This was 3 days ago. So was it before Father's Day?
These drivers right here had
Or
neighbors
after
on
Father's Day
edge.
weekend?
This is what played out in Montgomery County on Sunday
No, that's it.
before ending in Philadelphia. Well, Action News reported Leland Pender
It was fun Sunday, Father's Day weekend.
now live for us in Plymouth meeting with more on these illegal car meetups, Leland.
Shari, there were so many people out here at the Ridge Pike intersection in Plymouth meeting. Officials say in addition to those behind the wheels, there were between 50 and 100 people on the ground watching all of this happen.
Damn.
Morgan Heffelfinger described the scene.
Total
chaos. She captured this video near her home at the 5 Point Ridge Pike intersection in Plymouth meeting Sunday.
I was like shaking.
Plymouth Township Police are now looking to identify people involved with these vehicles that were part of the street takeover.
The street takeover. Yo, they call this a car meetup. This shit look like they burning rubber, like they racing or some shit.
Surveillance video shows two of those vehicles circling dangerously in the intersection as people hang out of the windows and fireworks go off nearby. How long did this go on?
It started around, I want to say 8 o'clock, and then it was over by 8:10 by the time the cops came here.
Just
10 minutes.
Yeah,
Just
not
like that.
even. Yeah.
Police said they made no contact with anyone involved on scene, and the crowd dispersed when they arrived.
All rapid responses are activated for a car meet.
They all left. This shit reminds me of Fast and the Furious, yo. Need for Speed and shit.
The group made its way to the city of Philadelphia in various parts of the city, including one location in the Northeast.
Everybody was
pissed. Here at McGee and Whitaker between 10:30 and 11
The nice
p.m.,
side of
people are
Philly.
seen on video crowding the streets, causing more chaos and carrying out the same dangerous stunts. As Philadelphia police move in, the crowds move out.
It's a nice, quiet, middle-class neighborhood. People that are doing this aren't from here.
Philadelphia police confirmed they're working with Plymouth Township on this investigation. Officials will look at video and tag reader information to help identify drivers, hopefully before they organize again.
If they want to do that stuff, they should find an empty parking lot.
I mean, that wasn't a parking lot. Well, it was in the street.
Plymouth Township police say here there were no injuries, but a source tells Action News in Philadelphia some officers were injured. It's unclear what those injuries.
What part of Philadelphia? What was they in South Philly or something, or was they in Juniata? Damn.
Were, and there were also instances of vandalism. If you know anything about what happened, you're
I don't
asked to
know
call
shit.
police. Live here in Plymouth meeting, Leland Pender.
I'm just bringing awareness to the news. Let's move on to the next topic. Guys, let us know what y'all think about these car meetups, right? That spark chaos in Plymouth Township, Philadelphia, right? It's also happening in the, north side of Philadelphia, south side of Philadelphia, and much more, man. What could be done? So we're going to play one more video, man, and I'm going to get off this John. And I'll see y'all maybe on Mouthpiece panel or the Words panel, all right?
An active
So we got this video right here. New York church member arrested for allegedly having sex with child. Man, you have to be careful with these priests, with these pastors, and much more.
Church member of this Burlington County House of Worship is at the center of a child sex abuse investigation tonight. Authorities say he sexually assaulted a young girl for close to 2 years.
Damn.
It is Friday night, and the big story on Action News is the arrest of 44-year-old.
How people didn't notice that this man was doing something to a little girl for over 2 years, or close to 2 years? My bad.
Sean Tracy of Mount Holly. Police say he had sex with a girl under the age of 13 multiple times. The two are allegedly members of the Burlington Seventh-day Adventist Church. Action News reporter Leland Pinder has been following the story and is live from Burlington with the latest on the investigation. Leland.
Rick, I talked to the pastor by phone today. He said he is just shocked by these allegations. The church's conference says that the suspect and the victim both attended here. They say they are cooperating fully with law enforcement and have taken steps to ensure the safety and well-being of all those involved. Concern from neighbors for the child victim of alleged sexual abuse by a church member of this Burlington, New Jersey church.
I hope they have privacy. I hope they have help. Professional help. I hope that they are able to still cling on to God in the midst of all of this happening.
44-year-old Sean Tracy is facing numerous charges in connection with having sex with a child under 13 years old.
Kind of crazy just to hear about that so close to home.
Authorities say their investigation began after a tip earlier this week. They discovered the alleged abuse occurred over a 2-year period at multiple locations in the county. The Burlington County Prosecutor's Office described Tracy as a deacon at Burlington Seventh-day Adventist Church, but the pastor disputed that to Action News, saying he's simply an active member of the congregation. An active member who's now in jail and relieved of all responsibilities and involvement in church activities.
No one deserves this. There's no justification, no explanation.
In a statement, the New Jersey Conference of Seventh-day Adventists said in part, "This news is deeply distressing and we are treating the matter with the utmost seriousness and urgency." The Burlington Church is committed to providing a safe, nurturing environment for all our members, particularly our children and youth. There was no answer at Tracy's home in Mount Holly Friday. Off camera, one neighbor told us they know him to be, quote, an all right guy. The characterization now called into question by the suspect's alleged actions.
That's disgusting, and it's all too prevalent.
And you can view that full statement from the New Jersey Conference of Seventh-day Adventists at 6abc.com. In the meantime, here the church says they're now reviewing their relevant safety protocols and safeguards as they ask for compassion and prayer as they deal with this. Prosecutor's office says their special victims unit is asking anyone to please come forward if they have any reason to believe that Tracy may have had sexual contact with any other children. Live here in Burlington, Leland Pinder, Channel 6, Action News. Rick?
All right, Leland, thank you.
We begin tonight with heartbreak in Strawberry Mansion. 2 young children and a pregnant woman.
My bad. Like, this shit, like, when it comes to this pastor, yo, and I think he was a deacon, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I want to go back. Right, I think he was a deacon, if I'm not mistaken. This is very disturbing. This is why I don't go to church. Too many of these perverted. Yo, man, listen, a lot of people say that. This is extremely unfortunate. Too many children abused as a child cover up their scars of hurt until a release is needed to heal that hurt inner child by hurting another child. Too many times at too many places, the signs of distress are ignored or simply unrecognizable. There are those that use this incident to celebrate their own. And it's unfortunately, that is so true right there, yo. How was he able to get close to the child for long? How the parents didn't know. And that's the question that I asked in the beginning. How in the world didn't these parents know what was going on with their child? Was they not paying attention? Was they not listening? Right? And let me see. This one says, so sad he concealed me and my wife while he were have marital problems. He came to the house for dinner a couple times. Very much respected in the community. Oh, wow. So this person seems to know this that deacon, pastor, whatever he is. Wow. That's crazy. The devil is alive and thriving, and that's a fact, yo. And it's unfortunate that you got a lot of pastors and deacons and shit like that, right, that are doing these type of things. It's really unfortunate, yo. But guys, man, that's all the time that a shorty has for y'all right now, man. I'm about to get off this, John, because I am about to get something to eat. So I'll see y'all next time, man. Let us really know what y'all think about these topics, yo. And I'm gonna leave y'all off with this song.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
Now there's a thin line between friends and enemies. Some are loyal, some just pretend to be. Some are for you, some just want to spend your cheese. Some adore you till the day you get in beef. Some are envy you with hearts filled with jealousy, feeding up your energy, looking for dependency. And I don't need the Hennessy to speak the truth. I've been in G. Let it be known, that's the difference between them and me. I seen it coming in the air that night. I wish the TV would have aired that fight, cause y'all ain't hear that right. All the rumors about, yeah, that wife wasn't true. I would never go near that fight. And all the talk about, he spared my life. Nigga, please, he was scared. That's why he came prepared that night. Had about 50 niggas with him there that night. I was dolo and still went and lay that right. Had him stumbling, you bet I made him pay that price. None of his soldiers could ever go and wear my stripes. He couldn't bear that sight of me shining cause I tear that mic. That nigga didn't want to share that light. He hired ghostwriters, said he swear he that nice. Shitted on a fan with a man that gave him life. Backstabber, never thought you would be that dressed. Had you think we used to share that mic?
Now if they told me you were drowning, I would not lend you a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend. Oh, yes, I have. And I know that you don't know who I am. You don't know me. See, I was there and I saw what you did. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Wipe off that pen. I know where you've been. So in a black of light.
Yeah. If you my friend to infinity. That means my enemies is your enemies. But what happens when two friends get in the beef? Do you choose a side or do you try to intervene? You can't tell me that, I really gotta pick between telling me son ain't never did shit for me. I'm like whatever, he ain't never did shit to me. Pun said he family and plus we got a history. He like Brent, you better look at what he did to me. What made you think he gon' treat you any differently? But I was 19, I ain't wanna listen, see. I had to see for myself their identity. I had to learn people ain't what they pretend to be. Out of respect for him, always kept a distance. But I heard through the interviews you missing me. I miss you too, mix the personal with the industry. They asking funny how I think you click could be. I say I don't know, that'd be a mystery. I know we listening now like they dissing me. Nigga, we dissing you just ain't listening. Around my own people feeling like an immigrant. A record deal shouldn't feel like imprisonment. And y'all can get tight, I don't really give a shit. I always speak my mind, nigga, this is reminiscent.
I remember, don't you worry. How could I ever forget it was the first time, and last time we ever met. Oh, I know the reason why you keep your silence. I know you're not fooling me. Hurt doesn't show, but your pain still grows. Now it's too late for apology.
Yeah, I know you. I used to write the rhymes for you. You was the nigga always screaming at you loyal. I always knew you was the milk that was for you. You ain't crack, you making soda and for you. Overall, you was a snake in the coil. You wanted it all for the fans to adore you. But look at you now, the cook with a smile. What's the word on the case you never took into trial? You thought I was done, I'm overcooking it now. You running with our flow, I'm overlooking your foul. I see it in your face, you shook in the crowd. Looking foul, couldn't sell what you put in the vow. You know my style, low-key, prospect, home street, ranch crew. What it do? You don't really want beef. He talking out his teeth cause he walking with police. No retreat, no surrender, no mercy, no peace. We all supposed to ride together. But it seemed when it came to cream, try to slide with the cheddar. Said you up forever, but I should've known better. Well, I was asking for the money, you ain't know what to tell her. Been through with the terror, Q wrote you the letter. Fuck the setup, niggas big pun forever. Nigga, I'm dead up, niggas big pun forever. Still head up, niggas big pun forever.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. moment all my life. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. And I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
Goddamn, Papoose. You ain't give us no fucking air room, Mo. You had to do that to him, Mo. Listen, my nigga. But you know what? This move we got over here, it ain't even a movement, my nigga. It's a machine, nigga. Because this shit don't stop, nigga. Let me tell you something. I'm a P.O., nigga. If you ain't know who I am, you know now. Yeah. P.O., I got you, nigga. Yeah. We from the Bronx where we rip tracks, flip that flow. Sit back, flip crack, get that dough. You know the code, it's money over hoes. You know what it is, who the best Bronx rapper since Pun ain't here? Man, it can't be you, fam, cause you ain't here. Rapper swagger jacking now, everybody saying Mo. I go to Miami, but I come back, I ain't. Yo, I'm S1, there's a lot of S2s. The less spew, I let it sneeze, hit your head, dude. And I ain't talking to them, I'm talking to you. Matter of fact, I'm talking to y'all. Y'all niggas sweeter than bras. The internet got them thinking they hot. All these rappers getting shot, now they thinking they pop. When you thinking of the Bronx, you better think of my blocks. 43rd precinct, cops shooting 41 shots. See, we get away with crime, cause our governor's blind. We grind, Bronx, Borough, New York, state of mind. Yo, P.O., I done shot niggas, I ain't scared to speak on it. Did it by myself, so nobody can snitch on me. These niggas bitch, still call the pigs on me. Got rid of the fake OGs, now I'm the big homie. Focus for fake. Heard the feds want me, but I'm a G, so if I get knocked off, I won't speak. Sex, money, murder, I gotta eat. If I get knocked, I'ma do my time like Bristol Pete, the real pistol. Niggas think they tough, I make a movie out of them. And I ain't even gotta shoot, I send a goonie at them. So somebody tell Joey stop fronting. Castle Hill, we shooters, even ready.
I'm from the home of the brave, where they love to spray ratchets. You know the address, it's the Bronx, you bastards. The foundation, we started this rap shit, but we don't take credit for that whack Joey crack shit. Last I heard, he was tipping the feds. Though some heads don't want to get him for the shit that he said. He the type to get him beef and try to fix it with bread. I was there when he fled and left his niggas for dead. I done bled for my borough, shot lead for my borough, never fled for my borough. You could bet, Mo, I'm thorough. P.O., they already know what it is. From the booth to the streets, you know I handles my biz.
It's sad when your borough's against you. Real niggas get together and turn the whole borough against you. Niggas try to convince you to keep it official, but you a snitch from way back and you running with pistol, the fake ones. Niggas don't make no mistakes, son. Had to know the name is album loyalty. His niggas got knocked and he ain't put up no lawyer fees. His raps is boring me. If punish your man, nigga, Wills is royalties. I ain't sending a threat. I'm on it like damn, we ain't get rid of him yet. My nigga S in the cinnamon Lex. G'd up like a mall member. Ask about drop, I hand out shots like a bartender. Far as the movement, yeah, you sent scars to Cuba, but let's see if you could dodge the Ruger. I doubt that. P.O. said it all, then we all set it off. Now let's see. P.O., you know these niggas don't want it with my son, my icon. A nigga frontin' his life gone, put price on. That man head like he got lace on, a general. Look, I got stripes on, I'm nice on. This mic thing, I'm a king just like Kong. Bitch ass niggas with white thongs, I'm quite strong. Check the resume, nigga, it's quite long. Everybody gangsta now, right? Wrong, right on the Bronx blocks where you niggas can't walk at. I holler where you niggas can't talk at. I'm a Bronx cat. I came home and I brought the Bronx back. You motherfuckers know where the Bronx at. We right here.
West side, you side. Please tell me how you ride. Hillside, you side. Please tell me how you ride. What the fuck is the Bronx track without the Lord on it, huh? I'm Ali in his prime, me George Foreman. Majority of the rules, Bronx riding, I'm all for it. We all balling, passing shooting, we all scoring. Never one bottle, popping, we all pouring. Nickel bag sold in the pop, we all want in. Nigga, the Bronx, I'm enforcing speed, enforcing all 200 horses in the Porsches. Eating, leaving rich niggas tucked somewhere on Orchard. Porter like a janitor, amateur shit'll cost ya. I'd rather the fall if you're off ya. Caught you slipping. Bitch, a nigga, this shit is torture.
I'm from the Bronx where we rip tracks, flip that flow. Sit back, flip crack, get that dough. You know the code, it's money over hoes.